I married Xun'er, but she refuses to consummate the marriage. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 126 Xiao Yan. Oh, my eyes are dirty. Did Ms. Xun'er come? Hearing Huo's words, Dao Yixian's beautiful eyes suddenly showed a strange color. She seemed to guess that Xun'er, the ex-wife, should come to Gu Fei to reconcile. As for the result, only Gu Fei and Dao Yixian knew. Dao Yixian looked into the room, and there was no worry in her eyes. After spending so much time with Gu Fei, she believed that Gu Fei would handle these things and give her a perfect answer. "Brother Gu Fei," Dao Yixian shouted into the room. Because of the seal, they didn't know what was going on in the room. Dao Yixian's shouting did not receive any response. Young friend Gu Fei set up the seal, probably because he didn't want others to disturb him. Dan Haozun was the strongest, and had already seen the clues of the bamboo building, and explained to everyone. It seems that his ex-wife still has a great influence on him. After all, she was someone he once loved deeply. Even if she really said it so decisively, it's inevitable that she still can't let go. Dao Yixian had some random thoughts. She thought that Gu Fei was in a bad mood after talking with Xun'er. At this moment, Dao Yixian's mood seemed to have changed. She also understood that an excellent man like Gu Fei was not something she could enjoy alone. Just like now, even though other women knew that she was Gu Fei's girlfriend, many people still wanted to pursue Gu Fei. No matter who brother Gu Fei will be with in the future, as long as he can treat me as well as before, that's enough. Dao Yixian figured it out and murmured in her heart. She didn't want to take Gu Fei for herself. She knew that compared with Gu Fei, it was like the stars compared to the bright moon. How could the stars have the bright moon alone? They all coexisted. Gu Fei was the same. As long as he had me in his heart, that was enough. Since brother Gu Fei doesn't want to be disturbed, let's wait outside. After Dao Yixian finished speaking, she also found a place to sit down. Xiao Yan watched everyone sit down, and looked into the bamboo building in confusion, thinking to herself, is brother Gu Fei in a bad mood and locked himself up? Looking at brother Gu Fei's usual appearance, he doesn't look like someone who would lock himself up. That Xun'er has been here. She might have bad intentions towards brother Gu Fei. I'd better go in and take a look, so I can feel at ease. Xiao Yan muttered. Unconsciously, she walked to the door of the bamboo building, stretched out her hand and slowly pushed the door open. The door was pushed open, and the silver seal that blocked the outside world appeared in front of Xiao Yan. The seal of Xun is powerful, but it has no use for me, Xiao Yan said, while stretching out her white and almost transparent little hand and grabbing directly into the space energy wall. After a few shuttles, Xiao Yan's body actually merged with the space seal, and her body also entered the seal. The space seal set by Gu Fei did not have any blocking effect in front of Xiao Yan. This little girl, her spatial talent is really good. When the Skyfire Venerable saw Xiao Yan enter the seal, he couldn't help but sigh at Xiao Yan's spatial talent. At the same time, he couldn't help but sigh that Gu Fei himself was already very talented, and his friends were all monsters. King Lin's three-flowered pupil of a green snake, Dao Yixian's poisonous body, Xiao Yan's spatial talent. The Lion King's loyalty can also be considered an advantage. Who is she? She is obviously only Huang, but she can break through the Xun seal. Huo also saw Xiao Yan enter the seal and was very curious about her. Xiao Yan is just at Huang, while Gu Fei is a 4-starred Xun. Xiao Yan can ignore the seal of a 4-starred Xun. This spatial talent is outrageous. In the room, Gu Fei and Queen Medusa embraced each other naked. Both of them almost forgot themselves, focusing on each other. They didn't notice that a little thing had already drilled into the seal. Suddenly, a childish cry sounded, and Gu Fei's body trembled violently, looking towards the place where the sound came from. Then he saw a little girl with purple hair covering her eyes with her hands, but her eyes were focused on looking at him through her fingers. Xiao Yan? Seeing that it was Xiao Yan who came in, Gu Fei was stunned. Shame, shame, shame. My eyes are dirty. I should have known not to come in earlier. You guys quickly put on your clothes. Oh, it's so embarrassing, Xiao Yan said hurriedly, covering her eyes. Goof quickly pulled the quilt that they had just kicked to the ground to cover Queen Medusa, then put on a piece of clothing and walked to Yan. Yan, how did you come in? If I didn't come in, I wouldn't know that Brother Goof had a beautiful woman in your golden house. Yan's fingers cracked, and when she saw Goof wearing clothes and walking over, she pouted. Hearing this, Goof was silent for a short time, and he didn't know how to explain to Yan. Originally, he thought that with his own strength to make a good seal, anyone who wanted to forcefully break in would know, but he had overlooked a little monster like Yan. Yan's true form was the ancient Taixu dragon. After she returned to her clan to practice, her control over space was superb, and it was completely a bug under the rules of space. The key was that Yan was still a little smart. Others saw the seal and wanted to wait, but she just wanted to come in and take a look. Seeing that Goof didn't say anything, Yan patted Goof very generously. Don't worry, Brother Goof, I will keep it a secret for you. Yan laughed, looking very cute. Before, Yan showed hostility to Xun'er because she was someone Goof hated. She spoke to Huozi like that because she was someone Goof had rejected. And now, Queen Medusa has made such great progress with Goof. Although Yan didn't understand it very well, it seemed that what Goof and Queen Medusa were doing was what they had done with Xiao before. Because of this, even though it was just their first meeting, Yan did not show any hostility to Queen Medusa on the bed. Keep it a secret? Goof's mouth twitched when he heard Yan's words. He thought to himself, this girl, could it be that she wants to use this to blackmail him? Will he become an emotionless sugar pill making machine from now on? Goof thought for a moment and said frankly, since I have done it, I will be responsible for them. There is no need to keep it secret. Yan looked at Goof in surprise. At this moment, Queen Medusa on the bed looked at Goof with tenderness. He is indeed a responsible man. Queen Medusa thought to herself. Queen Medusa originally felt shy because Yan broke in, as if she was caught cheating. But when she heard Goof's words at this moment, her heart suddenly settled down, and she secretly sighed that she had not made a mistake. Goof is indeed a man worth entrusting her life to. Chapter 127. Yan, if you see everything, you have to take responsibility. What about me? Brother Goof, how can you do something so unconventional? Yan stamped her feet and muttered. Originally, she had a plan in mind, and wanted to take this opportunity to keep it secret and ask Goof for more pills. Now that her plan failed, she suddenly became a little angry. Yan, do you want me to keep my lover in my house without telling anyone? That's not good for everyone. Why not make it public? Goof continued. Whether it was the little medical fairy or Queen Medusa, since he had taken their bodies, he had to take responsibility. It seems to make sense. Hearing Goof's words, Yan nodded as if she understood, and then said, then let's go out now. Yeah, Goof nodded, and then smiled at Queen Medusa on the bed. Let's go. No matter what it is, we have to face it. Queen Medusa feels happy, and the mood value increases by 100. Yeah. Queen Medusa smiled charmingly, and there was still a residual blush on her charming cheeks. In fact, before she made the decision, she expected Goof to disclose her identity afterwards and not to take her around as a pet like before. Now, Goof's decision is exactly what she wants, and Queen Medusa, as the queen of a clan, will not feel stage fright. What's so shameful about announcing your man to others? Queen Medusa thought so, and then directly lifted the quilt covering her body and stood up in front of Yan and Goof. Queen Medusa's beautiful face always reveals a touch of enchantment like a fairy. Her slender and wide neck reveals an elegant curve. The magnificent arc scenery below is even more amazing. Her slender waist seems to be less than a hand's length, but it is slightly thin, but it reveals a sense of flexibility. Her flat and tender belly has no extra fat. In addition, there is still some strange blush on her skin. Seeing this beautiful scenery, the fire that had just been extinguished in Goof's heart was rekindled. He had the urge to reach out and swim slightly on it. Sister Xiao is right. Men really like this kind of figure. Seeing Goof's eyes focused on the naked body of Queen Medusa, Yan couldn't help but complain in her heart. Fortunately, Queen Medusa started to put on her clothes directly after she stood up, and she was not exposed for too long. Otherwise, Goof would be embarrassed. Husband, I'm fine. Queen Medusa came to Gu Fei and said something numbing. You call me husband now. Hearing Queen Medusa's address to Gu Fei, Yan looked at Gu Fei and muttered, Sister Yan, this is how human women address their men. Queen Medusa smiled charmingly and said, Do you know me? Yan asked back. I have been in my husband's sleeve for a long time, longer than you met my husband. In the sleeve. Are you the colorful little snake? No wonder. No wonder I said why the breath on you is so familiar, but suddenly I can't remember who you are. Hearing this, Yan was very surprised. She didn't expect that the object of Gu Fei's hidden beauty was actually the colorful little snake that often appeared in everyone's sight. Moreover, Yan could also feel that the blood breath of Queen Medusa was not suppressed by herself like ordinary magic beasts. Let's go out, Gu Fei said, and with a wave of his hand, he removed the seal in the room. Yan has gone in. I wonder if she can comfort brother Gu Fei. Outside, Xiao Yan and the others were still waiting. Creaky. Suddenly, the door of the bamboo building was pushed open. Hearing the noise, Xiao Yan instinctively looked up, but soon, a trace of surprise appeared on her pretty face, because 3 people came out, one of whom she didn't know. Who is she? Everyone was puzzled. Brother Gu Fei, who is this sister? Xiao Yan took the lead to ask. Her intuition told her that the charming woman in front of her had a special relationship with Gu Fei. Sister Xiao Yan, hello, I am the same as you, my husband's woman. Before Gu Fei could speak, Queen Medusa spoke first. What? Hearing Queen Medusa's self-introduction, Xiao Yan, King Lin, Huozi and others were all surprised. Xiao Yan was stunned for a moment, then looked at Gu Fei, who nodded in agreement. Haha, I didn't expect that young friend Gu Fei was so charming. Girl, let's go first. Dan Haozun knew that this was a private matter between Gu Fei, Xiao Yan, and Queen Medusa, and they were not in a position to get involved. He silently called King Lin, Xun, and the Lion King to leave. However, Xun was stubborn and refused to leave. No, I want to see more. You can leave if you want. What's the situation? Doesn't young Master Gu Fei have only Xiao Yan as his girlfriend? Huozi was also a little stunned. She stopped where she was and wanted to continue listening. Xiao Yan, she is the colorful little snake you often see. Before, I accidentally saw her naked. At that time, we were still in the Jiama Empire. Therefore, I actually have different emotions towards her in my heart. Gu Fei looked directly at Xiao Yan and told her everything that happened. Will this happen if you see me naked? Didn't you see me naked before in the Dan realm? Xiao Yan and Huozi were listening attentively, but Yan suddenly interrupted and diverted their thoughts. Yan was also seen naked. How old is this little girl? Xiao Yan and Huozi glanced at Yan with a hint of strangeness in their eyes. When he saw me naked, I also had a good figure. And at that time, I was a little taller than you. Xiao Yan. Being stared at by the two, Yan smiled and raised her head and chest. Hearing this, Xiao Yan immediately understood that Yan must have grown up for a short time. I can testify to this. When you grew up, your figure was indeed quite good. Queen Medusa chuckled, and the atmosphere seemed to become much lighter all of a sudden. Brother Gu Fei, do I have a sister now? Xiao Yan suddenly spoke up. She figured it out. Gu Fei and Queen Medusa had that kind of ambiguous experience, and it seemed that it was before she and Gu Fei confirmed their relationship. Moreover, they had already had such an intimate relationship. It was impossible for Gu Fei to abandon Queen Medusa. In this case, he might as well be more generous and not embarrass Gu Fei. Chapter 128. The little medical fairy is pregnant. Thank you, Sister Xiao Yan. Hearing this, Queen Medusa smiled gently and expressed her gratitude to Xiao Yan. Her tone was very gentle and sincere. In the past, Queen Medusa was a queen who was high and mighty in the snake tribe and would never speak to people so politely. But now, she met Gu Fei and saw people who were much stronger than herself. The arrogance in her heart actually faded a lot naturally. At this moment, Xiao Yan was not angry because she seduced Gu Fei, and immediately gained the favor of Queen Medusa. What's your name, sister? Xiao Yan let out a long breath, adjusted her emotions, and made herself completely accept the existence of Queen Medusa. After all, the two of them would live together for a long time in the future. She is the Queen Medusa of the snake tribe and has no actual name. Why don't we call her Xun'er in the future? Gu said with a smile. He was very happy to see that the two women could get along so peacefully now. What do you think? Do you like it? Xun'er? Well, this name is pretty good. I'll obey my husband. Queen Medusa pouted slightly when she heard the name. She felt that the name was a bit rustic. But the name was chosen by Gu Fei, so she happily accepted it. It is rumored that the queen of the snake people is notorious, but I didn't expect that she is so docile in front of brother Gu Fei. Now Yixian sighed in her heart. She knew that Gu Fei was not an ordinary person. At this time, Huozi, who stayed here, felt a little embarrassed. Now, there were two women around Gu Fei, but she was not. Should I also follow Xun'er and be with this Xun'er girl? No, if I do that, maybe people will just look down on me. Huozi shook her head. She understood that her situation was different. Queen Medusa was able to succeed because she had had ambiguous experiences with Gu Fei several times before, plus Xun'er's stimulation. But she, Huozi, was the pride of the Yan clan, representing the face of the Yan clan. It was okay to express her pursuit passionately, but she couldn't ask a man to have her without any bottom line. Ms. Huozi, you want to discuss the art of controlling fire? Come back next time. Gu Fei also knew that it was not appropriate for Huozi to stay here, so he spoke. Thank you, Mr. Gu Fei. I'll come back in 2 days. Huozi replied politely. She sighed in her heart, knowing that this relationship could not be forced. She and Gu Fei could only rely on their fate in the future, and could not be forced. Gu Fei's excellence, even if people knew that he had several women, still made people unable to let go of her. She fantasized in her heart that even if 3 people shared Gu Fei together, it would be good. The premise is that she could squeeze in and become one of them. After Huozi left, Dao Yixian, who had adjusted her mood, generously pulled Queen Medusa into the bamboo building. Sister Xun'er, I still want to hear the story between you and brother Gu Fei. You don't mind telling me? After entering the house, Dao Yixian and Yan sat down and looked at Xun'er in front of them. Yan also looked at Xun'er with wide eyes and curiosity. She was very gossipy about this kind of thing, especially about Gu Fei. Just now, Gu Fei just told the story of himself and Xun'er from his own perspective. Among them, there must be many other contents that they have never known. In addition, now that Huozi is gone, the conversation is more open. Next is Gu Fei's embarrassing time. However, Dao Yixian pretended to be angry and rolled her eyes at Gu Fei, and then passed the matter over. In the process of getting along, Queen Medusa has her own dignity because of her noble status as a queen. In addition, her proud mature figure shows a mature beauty that is completely different from the other women present. Therefore, during the conversation, the women unconsciously took Xun'er as the leader and regarded Xun'er as the elder among them. If you ask me, brother Gu Fei is too generous. How can he bear to let you stay in his sleeves all the time? It's so dark and narrow there. Yan complained while listening. Gu Fei couldn't help but smile awkwardly when he heard it. At first, he only saw that Queen Medusa could provide high emotional value, so he secretly brought her with him. But later, after seeing Queen Medusa's naked body, his attitude towards Queen Medusa changed quietly. Sister Xun'er, what is your true form? Why do I feel that you are different from ordinary snake-shaped monsters? Yan is a chatterbox, saying whatever she thinks. In the past, when her monster aura was released, even if the opponent was 1 level higher than her, her blood aura could oppress the opponent. But in front of Queen Medusa, her blood advantage seemed to have no effect. My true form is the 7-colored sky-swallowing python. The 7-colored sky-swallowing python. It turns out to be the blood of the monster from ancient times. No wonder. Yan's eyes were full of surprise. In the following time, although there was one more person in Gu Fei's bamboo building, it did not affect the previous joy. I didn't expect it to be the ancient blood of the 7-colored sky-swallowing python. The Skyfire Venerable looked at the new member Xun'er and sighed in his heart that there was another monster around Gu Fei. The presence of the Lion King was reduced again. He was not at the same level as these women. Even the weakest kingling had the tendency to surpass him. 2 days later, Huozi came here again and asked Gu Fei for advice on fire control. During this time, she saw that Queen Medusa had perfectly integrated into the lives of Gu Fei and others, and she was a little envious. What are you thinking about? You must stay focused when controlling fire. Seeing Huozi distracted, Gu Fei reminded her, I don't have much time to teach you. Okay. Hearing this, Huozi quickly stabilized her mind. After several days of asking for advice, although Gu Fei did not teach her the skills, it also made her understand fire control more deeply. Brother Gu Fei, take a break. Cough. Now Yixian saw Gu Fei and Huozi stop practicing, and suddenly retched while talking. It looked like she was nauseous. What's wrong? Gu Fei walked up to support Zhao Yixian and checked her body, but found that everything seemed very stable. It's okay. Huh? This is. Gu Fei was just about to withdraw his soul power. However, he found a weak life form in Zhao Yixian's belly. He immediately looked at the life form, and finally found out the reason why Zhao Yixian kept retching. Zhao Yixian, you're pregnant. Gu Fei helped Zhao Yixian sit down, and he turned his back to Zhao Yixian to check the situation inside her body, so he couldn't see Gu Fei's expression. Huozi on the side saw it clearly, and a surprised expression appeared on Gu Fei's face that he had never had before. She couldn't figure it out for a while. What on earth could make Gu Fei act so happy? Zhao Yixian didn't seem to be in good condition. Huozi was thinking wildly. Gu Fei hugged Zhao Yixian and came to her. He squatted in front of Zhao Yixian and said in surprise, we have a child. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129, 1 year, promoted to the Commander-in-Chief. The little girl is born. Child. Hearing Gu Fei's words, Zhao Yixian was stunned for a moment, and then, with excitement on her pretty face, she exclaimed, I'm pregnant? We are going to have a child. Zhao Yixian has an extremely pleasant emotion, and the emotion value increases by 100. Zhao Yixian excitedly grabbed Gu Fei's hand and confirmed with him again. Brother Gu Fei, am I really pregnant? It's true. Gu Fei's surprise was indescribable, and his voice unconsciously became louder. Everyone who was practicing in the bamboo building was awakened and came to the mountain peak to see Gu Fei's surprised expression. Is there something happy? Yan jumped out. Zhao Yixian is pregnant. Gu Fei excitedly announced the news to everyone. Pregnancy was not particularly conceptual for Yan and King Lin. They only knew that it was a process of nurturing life. Xun'er, however, knew very well that Gu Fei and Zhao Yixian had their own love fruit, which was something precious for their whole lives. Thinking about it, Xun'er also touched her belly and envied Zhao Yixian. The Skyfire Venerable and the Lion King arrived and congratulated Zhao Yixian and Gu Fei. Is Zhao Yixian going to give birth to little Gu Fei? Yan's words caused everyone to laugh, but Yan didn't care. She put her ear to Zhao Yixian's belly to listen to the voice of little Gu Fei. Huozi was watching the happy Gu Fei and others not far away, revealing a faint smile. She was really embarrassed here. After learning about the fire control technique from Gu Fei several times, she also calmed down. Huozi knew that the way of pestering would not only fail to win Gu Fei's favor, but would affect her own cultivation progress and let Gu Fei leave her further and further behind. Now, for her, returning to the Flame Realm to practice is the right way. As for Gu Fei, she can only hope that the two will have fate in the future. So, while Gu Fei and others didn't notice her, she quietly left the mountain. Elder Huo Yao, we have been here for a while, so we should go back to the tribe as soon as possible. When she saw Elder Huo Yao and others again, Huozi directly expressed her feelings to them. Huo Yao was very pleased with Huozi's forgiveness. It was not pleasant for the elders to see their Yan clan's proud daughter pestering a foreigner. Soon, the Yan clan delegation said goodbye to the ancient clan and left the ancient world. Xun'er, who wanted to offer her body but was decisively rejected and insulted by Gu Fei, gradually saw some things clearly. After she left Gu Fei's peak, she began to practice in seclusion, seeking a breakthrough in strength. Therefore, for a long time to come, Gu Fei had a rare quiet time. Gu Fei's life was on track. He practiced every day, accompanied Queen Medusa and Zhao Yixian, and occasionally took a day to go to the army. Zhao Yixian was pregnant, and Gu Fei took care of her meticulously when he had time. Of course, he never delayed his own practice. In his spare time with Zhao Yixian, he sought a way to break through and enhance his strength. In a blink of an eye, 10 months passed, and Guf's cultivation broke through to the 7-star Xun. And this year, he is only 20 years old. A 7-star Xun at the age of 20 is unheard of even in the ancient clan. Guf's breakthrough caused a great stir in the ancient clan. Even the clan leader Yuan couldn't help but take a second look when he got the news. It's time to make another step forward. Gu Fei, who controls 4 kinds of strange fire, possesses many powerful fighting skills, and has a flesh and blood body comparable to that of an 8th-level ancient magic beast, is a huge leader among the younger generation in terms of strength. He is not lacking in talent, and he will not lack in strength in the future. As the date of the child's birth approaches, Gu Fei sets his sights on the position of the Commander-in-Chief of the Black Annihilation Army. The Black Annihilation Army, 1 king, 4 capital commanders, and 8 commanders, became the Commander-in-Chief of the Black Annihilation Army. His status in the ancient clan can truly be equal to that of some elders. So, Gu Fei chose a suitable time and challenged the original Commander-in-Chief of the Black Annihilation Army, the 8-star Xun Gu Shi. You have already advanced to the 7-star Xun at such a young age. You will definitely be much stronger than me in the future. But now, I am just a little stronger than you. Are you sure you want to challenge me? Gu Shi was not angry when he learned that Gu Fei wanted to challenge him. Instead, he persuaded him. How can we know if we don't try? Gu Fei smiled slightly. Gu Shi looked at Gu Fei with admiration. He saw Gu Fei rise from the 7th commander to his current position. Although Gu Fei came to challenge him this time, he was still full of expectations for him. The battle between Gu Fei and Gu Shi attracted many Gu clan members to watch. Gu King Yang and Gu Yao also wanted to see Gu Fei's current strength. Tell me, can Gu Fei beat the great commander now? Gu King Yang asked Gu Yao. After all, the great commander has been promoted to the 8-star Xun for a long time, and the accumulation of years cannot be ignored. Gu Yao was not optimistic about Gu Fei. After all, there was a gap of more than 1 star in between. I think Gu Fei is a person who is good at creating miracles. Gu King Yang was obviously more optimistic about Gu Fei. The Commander-in-Chief is not a mediocre person. Then let's wait and see. In the expectation of everyone, the battle between Gu Fei and Gu Shi began. Facing Gu Fei, who was 1 star lower than himself, Gu Shi had no intention of taking the enemy lightly. He burst out with all his strength from the beginning, causing Gu Fei a lot of trouble. His various fighting skills were quite good, and he was more proficient in using them than Gu Fei, and every move was accompanied by terrifying pressure. Gu Fei seemed to be suppressed by Gu Shi, but in fact he was looking for an opportunity. After all, Gu Shi was 1 star stronger than him in terms of fighting spirit, and he was not his opponent in terms of quantity, so Gu Fei was looking for an opportunity to burst out. Finally, after constant entanglement, Gu Fei seized the opportunity. 4 kinds of strange fires burst out at the same time, and the terrifying raging flames raised the temperature around the entire arena by a few degrees, and the protective shield was almost collapsed. In front of Gu Fei, who burst out with all his strength, Gu Shi had no chance to fight back. After a fierce battle, he still couldn't avoid the ending of defeat. It seems that my vision is better. Gu King Yang smiled. After defeating the great commander Gu Shi, Gu Fei officially became the new great commander of the Black Annihilation Army. Everyone, I have something else to do. I'll leave first. Gu Fei did not stay here to enjoy the glory, because Xiao Yan's due date was approaching, and he chose to stay on the mountain for the next few days and not go anywhere. In the previous 10 months, Xun'er and others did not fall behind in their cultivation. With the elixir refined by Gu Fei, Xun'er successfully merged the soul of the 7-colored sky-swallowing python. Her cultivation level also directly entered the ranks of the 5-star Xun. Because Xiao Yan was pregnant, a considerable part of the energy she absorbed from heaven and earth was used to feed the fetus in her belly every day, so her cultivation speed was relatively slow. Even so, thanks to the powerful cultivation speed of the evil poison body, her cultivation level also climbed to the 5-star Huang stage. Although Xian was a little lazy, her cultivation level also rose to the late 6th level, and it is estimated that she will soon be able to truly enter the 7th level. In the blink of an eye, another 7 days passed. During the 7 days, watching Xiao Yan's belly grow bigger, Gu Fei became more and more anxious and nervous. After all, This was the first time he played the role of a father in his 2 lives. Xiao Yan looked at Gu Fei in front of him and gently held his hand. It doesn't matter. It's just giving birth to a child. Can I, a great Huang, die just because of giving birth to a child? Xiao Yan was jokingly trying to relieve Gu Fei's pressure, but Gu Fei suddenly felt a lot of cold sweat on Xiao Yan's palms. At the same time, her eyebrows were furrowed, her face was pale, and she seemed to be in great pain. Chapter 130. Good news. Queen Medusa is pregnant. Midwives. Seeing this, Gu Fei shouted hurriedly. As soon as the voice fell, 2 midwives who were invited here in advance came over quickly. Madam is about to give birth. The 2 midwives looked at Xiao Yan and immediately began to prepare to deliver the baby for Xiao Yan. In order to prevent himself from disturbing them, Gu Fei sent Xiao Yan to the soft bed in the room, and then left and waited anxiously outside the house. Is Xiao Yan's sister about to give birth? Yan and others also heard Gu Fei shouting and came to the outside of the bamboo building. Madam, it's almost time to give birth. Push. In the room, the shouting of the midwife and the intermittent cries of pain from Xiao Yan always affected Gu Fei's mind. He walked back and forth. His heart was in turmoil, nervous, expectant, excited, and filled with all kinds of emotions. Husband, don't worry too much. Xiao Yan's sister has been prepared for a long time. Everything will go well. Seeing Gu Fei's reaction, Queen Medusa comforted him softly. Gu Fei tightly grasped Care's hand, as if the pain at the moment was in his body. Madam, try harder. It's already halfway out. Wow soon. With a loud cry, Gu Fei's heart finally calmed down. It's born. Gu Fei couldn't wait to walk into the house, but suddenly realized that he was making too much noise, so he quickly slowed down and gently pushed open the door. In the room, Xiao Yan was sweating profusely, her face was pale but with a sweet smile. After Gu Fei entered the room, he did not go to see the child first, but went straight to Xiao Yan. Is there anything wrong with your body? Gu Fei was most worried that Xiao Yan would encounter some accidents during the delivery process. Fortunately, it didn't happen. Take this pill. Gu Fei handed the conditioning pill he had prepared in advance to Xiao Yan. The grade of this pill was surprisingly up to the 8th grade. Xiao Yan took the pill and felt the pure medicinal properties in the pill. A blush appeared on her face. She felt indescribable sweetness and touched. When Gu Fei came in, the first thing he cared about was not the child, but herself. This touched her heart and a huge sense of happiness arose spontaneously. Congratulations, young master. Mother and daughter are safe. The midwife congratulated Gu Fei at this time. Mother and daughter, is it a girl? Look at the child. As soon as Gu Fei finished speaking, the maid brought the child over. Gu Fei took the child and put it where Xiao Yan could see it. In the swaddling clothes, the pink baby was crying loudly, and the crying sound was very loud. Don't cry, don't cry. Gu Fei was a little at a loss. The child has just been born and is not adapted to the environment. It is normal for him to cry. Xiao Yan said with a smile. Well, our daughter is really beautiful as you. Gu Fei nodded and said happily. The child has just been born, and its eyes haven't even opened yet. How can we tell? Hearing this, Xiao Yan said unhappily. Then, the midwife walked out of the room and announced the good news to the people waiting outside the door. Care, Yan, King Lin and others then quietly entered the room. Is this brother Gu Fei's child? King Lin said excitedly when he saw the child. It's a little girl. I should have been like this when I was a child. But why is she crying? So cute. Yan poked her head out and wanted to quarrel, but changed her mind as she looked at her. She called Xiao Yan sister, but this is her precious niece. Is this how it feels to be an elder? Yan liked and enjoyed this feeling very much. Kair looked at the sweet appearance of Xiao Yan and Gu Fei, and touched her belly. She felt that there was always some reaction in her belly recently. She seemed to be pregnant too, but she didn't have time to tell Gu Fei. Have you thought of a name for the child? Xiao Yan asked suddenly. When it comes to names, Gu Fei had a headache before, always feeling that no name sounded good, or did not meet his expectations. But now, looking at the sweetly smiling Xiao Yan in front of him, he had an answer in his heart. Let's call this child Xian. Gu Fei responded with a smile. The reason why he named his daughter Xianlu was because Xiao Yan suffered a lot of misfortunes and hardships when she was a child. Only after meeting him could she have a quiet time. He hoped that his daughter would be happy all her life. Xianlu. What a good name. Xiao Yan agreed with this name very much. The birth of Xiao Yan added a lot of laughter and joy to the mountain. As Gu Fei's daughter, she deserved to be loved by everyone on the mountain. Dan Haozun was even more like an elder, and almost regarded Xiao Yan as his own granddaughter. Xian had always been the little one among Gu Fei's group. Now, with a younger little one, she did not fight for favor, but wanted to give her best things to Xian. Sometimes, when Xiao Yan was tired of taking care of the children, Xian would take over. Xian also liked to play with Xian. Xiao even said jealously that Xian seemed to like Xian more. In the ancient world, Gu Fei's grandfather Gu Lai was very happy to learn that his great-granddaughter was born. He thought hard for a long time about preparing a gift for his great-granddaughter, and found that the best thing he could show was his own strength. So he prepared a very abstract gift. "Grandpa, you are here." Gu Fei learned that Gu Lai was coming, and brought Xiao Yan to see Gu Lai with Xian in his arms. "Xian, let your great-grandfather hug you." Gu Lai showed a kind smile, although he had tried his best to suppress his breath. Xian was scared even if it was just a little bit on the surface. Before she reached Gu Lai's arms, she had already burst into tears. "Don't be afraid, Xian, this is your great-grandfather. He loves you very much. If anyone dares to bully you in the future, just mention your great-grandfather's name," Gu Fei said to Xiao. But Xiao didn't understand. After adapting for a long time, Xiao finally came to Gu Lai's arms safely. Gu Lai held Xiao like a treasure, fearing that Xiao would bump into something in his arms. That look was very different from the usual majestic Black Annihilation King. "Grandpa also prepared a gift for you," Gu Lai said, and as soon as he stretched out his hand, a space jade slip appeared in his hand. The gift that Gu Lai prepared for Xiao was the space jade slip that he had refined himself. Seeing this gift, Gu Fei couldn't help but twitch his mouth. The space jade slip needs to be crushed before it can be used. Xiao had just opened her eyes, let alone crushing the jade slip. It was very difficult to even pick it up. "This space jade slip will probably be covered in dust for a long time. Xiao, why don't you thank your great-grandfather?" Although he thought so in his heart, Gu Fei still cooperated with Gu Lai to tease Xiao. Xiao didn't understand what the adults were talking about, and her two black little eyes looked around. "Ha ha ha, I also have 4 generations living under one roof." Gu Lai laughed heartily and couldn't wait to spread the news in the ancient world. The elders in the ancient clan envied Gu Lai and urged their children or grandchildren to give birth quickly. They couldn't beat Gu Lai in a fight, so they had to beat him in one way. And Gu Fei's happy event was not just this one. As early as a month ago, Xun'er felt the breath of life coming from her belly, but it was still very weak and uncertain at that time. But now, she can clearly feel the signs of pregnancy. "It's time to tell my husband." As the father of the child, Gu Fei should know the news of her pregnancy as soon as possible. Xun'er came to Gu Fei while Gu Fei was taking care of Xiao. Gu Fei knew Xun'er very well. As soon as he saw the expression on her face at this moment, he knew that she had something to say to him. "What's wrong?" Gu Fei asked with concern, walked towards Xun'er and hugged her in his arms. Xun'er looked at Gu Fei affectionately, hesitated for a moment, and said, "I'm pregnant." Gu Fei, double happiness. After the silence, Xun'er was greeted by Gu Fei's surprise. Gu Fei didn't expect that Xun'er would react immediately after he had Xiao. His ability was too strong, and he actually made both of them pregnant so quickly. With the experience of taking care of Xiao, Gu Fei was no longer at a loss as before. "Next, you should have a good rest and rest assured to take care of the baby." Gu Fei hurried to take care of Xun'er, but was rejected by Xun'er. "We snake people and humans are pregnant differently. The pregnancy period of snake people is much longer than that of humans. What's more, I have become the ancient bloodline 7-colored sky-swallowing python, and the pregnancy period is even longer." "How long will it take?" "It will probably take 3 to 5 years." "So long?" Gu Fei looked at Xun'er's belly, and thought so. The 7-colored sky-swallowing python is equivalent to the physique of a warcraft. It is much more difficult for warcraft to give birth than humans. 3 to 5 years is normal. During pregnancy, do you need a magic medicine to nourish the fetus? Gu Fei remembered something. Upon hearing this, Hei opened her red lips slightly and nodded, saying, "That's right. During pregnancy, our tribe will use secret methods to nourish the fetus, which can improve the baby's bloodline ability, and the potential after birth will be even more terrifying. The strongest secret method passed down by the snake people is the Heavenly Soul Melting Blood Pill. The Heavenly Soul Melting Blood Pill, that's just a 7th grade pill. How can it be enough? We should use something better for our child." Before Hei finished speaking, Gu Fei interrupted him, and his words moved Hei even more. "I once got an 8th grade pill recipe, called Dragon Soul Holy Blood Pill, which has a similar effect to the Heavenly Soul Melting Blood Pill, but it is countless times more powerful than the latter." Hei looked at Gu Fei with emotion. Gu Fei used an 8th grade pill, and the pregnancy-protecting medicine he gave to Xiao was also an 8th grade pill. She and Xiao had the same weight in Gu Fei's heart. "Just take a good rest. Leave the refining of the elixir to me. I will ensure that you and your child will get the most abundant nourishment." Gu Fei helped Hei back to rest, and asked Xian and King Lin to pay more attention. "Sister Hei is pregnant too. This is so cool." Hearing Gu Fei's words, Xian's little face instantly showed excitement, as if the pregnant person was not Queen Medusa, but her. Chapter 131, Leaving the Ancient World. Yuan was forced to marry. "Will there be another little guy to play with me in a few months?" Xian usually likes to tease Xian, "You, the most. If there is another little guy, she will have something to play with every day." "Xian, my pregnancy is different from that of humans. It takes 3 to 5 years to give birth." Seeing Xian's excitement, Queen Medusa replied with a smile, "Ah, it takes so long to get pregnant." Hearing this, the excitement on Xian's face faded. "You two take good care of Hei. I'll go and refine some nourishing pills for her. Bring some for me too." Xian blinked her eyes, with hope in her eyes. "It depends on your performance." "Okay, I will definitely perform well." After Gu finished his instructions, he left the mountain and went to a medicine store to collect a large amount of medicinal materials. Then he returned to the mountain to refine the elixir. The elixir cauldron emerged. A large number of medicinal materials emerged from the ring. Then, Gu sacrificed the strange fire and continued to heat up the elixir cauldron. Although this was the first time for Gu to refine the Dragon Soul Holy Blood Pill, he performed very well. He quickly threw 2 8th-level magic cores with dragon blood into the medicine cauldron. The magic cores were instantly burned red by the strange fire. Next, several bottles of blood with huge energy were also thrown into the medicine cauldron by Gu Fei. When the pill was completed, 7-color pill thunder fell from the sky. The nourishing effect of the pill that experienced the 7-color pill thunder was far superior to the top-secret method of the Heavenly Soul Melting Blood Pill inherited by the snake people. 7-color pill thunder. Gu Fei's alchemy skills have improved again. Do you think that the people of the Medicine Clan will learn from the Flame Clan and target this boy, and want to marry a girl from the clan to him? It's really possible. Gu Fei's alchemy talent is not inferior to the genius of the Demon Clan. As the 7-color pill thunder appeared, some elders of the Gu clan who were Shangs stared at them from a distance, talking and laughing, and they were full of praise for Gu Fei. 7th grade pills and low-level 8th grade pills were not in the eyes of these Shangs, but the elixir above the 7-color elixir thunder is worthy of the attention of these Shang masters. Gu Fei is only 20 years old now, but he can attract the 7-color elixir thunder. In the future, there is a great chance that he can enter the rank of 9th grade alchemist. 9th grade elixir is the elixir that countless Shang masters covet, except for the peak masters like Gu Yuan who have reached the pinnacle and cannot be improved. All other Shangs are eager for it. "You have an amazing grandson." In a hall, Gu Yuan smiled at Gu Lai beside him. Gu Lai did not hide his smile. Who would not be proud to have such an excellent grandson? I have to get along well with Gu Fei in the future. Maybe one day I will need him to refine medicine. Yes, the 9th grade alchemist is very important to our Gu clan. Alchemists have always had a special status, even for the Gu clan. The elders of the Gu clan expressed their opinions one after another. They began to take seriously this young man who was getting closer and closer to becoming a 9th grade alchemist. Hei, take the pill. On the mountain, Gu Fei had just finished refining the Dragon Soul Holy Blood pill and gave it to Medusa. Although this pill has mild properties, it is an 8th grade pill after all, and its medicinal power is strong. It is not easy to absorb, so Xun'er immediately went into seclusion. Yan took good care of Xun'er during Gu Fei's seclusion, and she got the sugar pill she wanted as she wished. Yan is now half a year old. With the help of Xiao Yan, she began to learn to walk and even babbled. A few months later, Xun'er came out of seclusion. There seemed to be a light layer of blood on the surface of her body. It seemed that the Dragon Soul Holy Blood pill was absorbed very smoothly. Pregnant women always become more emotional unconsciously, and Xun'er is no exception. After coming out of seclusion, Xun'er often stared at her belly in a daze, as if she was worried. Xiao Yan was the first to notice the abnormality of Queen Medusa, so she asked, "Xun'er, I always see you a little dazed during this period. What are you thinking about?" "Nothing, just, I miss the snake people. After all, I am the queen of the snake people. I haven't been back for a long time. I don't know how the people are doing now." Xun'er is concerned about her tribe. She has been away for a long time and is worried about their situation. When mentioning the snake people, Xiao Yan also thought of the Jiama Empire. "In fact, I also want to go to the small valley to have a look." That small valley is where she and Gu Fei met, and it was also there that the two of them established a deep friendship. She wanted to take Yan to see the small valley and remember this place. "I don't know how the Modi mercenary group is now," King Hei Yan also echoed softly. "Then let's go back together to have a look. Anyway, there is nothing to do recently." Seeing that several people were homesick, Gu Fei supported taking them back to have a look. Yan jumped up upon hearing this and said, "I will also go back to Canaan College to see the old lady and let her see my current strength." The old lady that Yan was referring to was naturally the elder of the inner courtyard, Yuan. "Recently, I have also been worried about my child. I wonder if he has successfully digested the companion purple crystal source. It is a good opportunity to go back and see him." The Lion King also had some plans. Gu Fei looked at the Skyfire Venerable, who did not express his opinion in the end. "You are all going to leave, so why should an old man like me stay here? Of course, we should go together." So everyone finished their discussion and returned to the Jiama Empire to take a look. When leaving, Gu Fei was still very low-key and did not tell his clan members about his whereabouts. After leaving the ancient world smoothly, they hurried along the space channel as they had come. The environment inside the space channel was as dark and lonely as ever. Fortunately, they had long been accustomed to this feeling. It was the first time for Yan to enter the space channel, but with Gu Fei protecting her, she did not feel any discomfort. The closer you get to the Jiama Empire, the more timid you feel when you are close to home. The closer you get to the Jiama Empire, the more passionate everyone's hearts become. Jiama Empire, Yunlan Sect. Deep in the Yunlan Sect, in a remote hall, soft light swayed in the breeze, and the faint light enveloped the hall, driving away the coldness that lingered in the hall. The huge hall was empty, and only the white dress in the center could add a touch of popularity to the hall. Yun sat cross-legged on a cushion, and her beautiful face, which was elegant and noble, was now full of strange anger. Previously, her mentor Yun Shan came here to say something to her, which directly made her body fall into a cold state. "Xun'er, get ready, your master is going to hold a wedding for you." "Hold a wedding? With whom?" "The only person in the whole Jiama Empire who can match you is Gu Fei." "You want me to marry Gu Fei?" "Of course." "I don't want to." "Then you stay here and think it through before going out." This is the conversation between Yun Shan and Yun. Simple and straightforward, without any emotion. Thinking of the words from her mentor Yun Shan's mouth, Yun's heart became colder. How could Yun Shan, now, be the kind teacher she had in her heart? Yun Shan used to take good care of her. It was under Yun Shan's careful teaching that she was able to become a Huang strongman and successfully become the leader of Yunlan sect. But now, in Yun Shan's eyes, there was no emotion. He seemed like a cold wooden man. The love he had for her disappeared, and only use was replaced. This is incredible. What happened during the time when he was promoted to Duzong? What made the teacher become like this? And those elders who suddenly promoted to Huang? Why did their strength suddenly improve so quickly? The entire Yunlin sect now seemed to be shrouded in a haze from top to bottom, a haze that Yun could not get rid of at all. Do you really want to marry Gu He? Yun slowly raised her hand. Her qi could not flow in her body at this time, because Yun Shan had sealed her qi when he left. Because she didn't want to marry Gu He, she contradicted Yun Shan, who sealed her qi in anger and put her under house arrest. There was also a seal set by Yun Shan in the room, and she couldn't leave here at all. When people are helpless, they always think of the person they want to rely on the most. At this moment, a young and tall figure emerged in Yun's mind. Where are you? A feeling of regret arose with this figure. The person she missed was Gu Fei. At the beginning, for the sake of Yunlan sect, she gave up the pursuit of a better life in her heart. She is the leader of Yunlan sect and wants to lead Yunlan sect on the right path. Let Yunlan sect be admired by everyone and let Yunlan sect step on to a new height. But now, Yunlan sect has become so ghost-like and sect-like. If it were to happen again, Yun would resign from the so-called position of leader without hesitation and follow Gu Fei's footsteps. Chapter 132 Yan. What? Father is missing. Canaan Academy. Inner courtyard. Yan let out a long breath and suppressed his impetuous qi. Just now, he had broken through to the level of a forced hardling. After nearly 2 years in the inner courtyard, he is now a little famous in the inner courtyard. Teacher, Han Feng seems to have disappeared in the Black Horn region in the past few years. It will be very troublesome to find him if you don't have some power. Yan came back to his senses from his training state and communicated with the soul of Yao Lao in the ring. Don't worry, with your current strength, even if you find that traitor, you can't beat him. Not to mention taking away his strange fire, Yao Lao said bluntly. Although it was a bit discouraging, it was true. According to some information he got, Han Feng had entered the peak of the Huang a long time ago. Yan is now just at Ling, and even with the help of his soul power, he can only barely fight against it Huang. Han Feng is a Huang with strange fire, and his strength is much stronger than that of an ordinary Huang, so Yan has no chance of defeating Han Feng. After a while, you should leave the inner courtyard, Yao Lao suddenly said. Where to? Yan was stunned. Southern region of Zhangzhou, Yao Lao said lightly, with nostalgia in his words. He thought of Xin'an Pavilion, where he had old friends. With old friends helping him and Yan, his recovery speed might become much faster, and Yan's strength could also improve faster. Okay. Yan agreed without asking any more questions. At this time, Yan received a letter from home, which was sent by Zhang from the outer courtyard. What? Father is missing. When Yan saw the content of the letter, his face suddenly changed. In his childhood, because he turned from a genius into a loser, most of the people around him sneered at him and looked down on him. But his father Zhao never ignored him and always encouraged and supported him. Father Zhao is the person Yan cares about most in his life. I have to go back to find my father. The letter was instantly crushed by Yan, and then he flew into the air and prepared to leave the inner courtyard. Don't panic. Let's see what happened first. Yao Lao appeared in time to persuade Xiao Yan. With Yao Lao's persuasion, Yan calmed down, thinking carefully. How could his father disappear for no reason? His father's strength as a great fighting master is not strong, but in a small place like Yuan City, no one can make him disappear out of thin air. There must be something fishy. Yan realized this. That's right. Be careful in everything. I feel that the Jiama Empire has not been peaceful recently. This time, it's better to be careful when you go back, Yao Lao advised. I know, teacher. There is no time to lose. I will take leave and leave the inner courtyard now. Originally, in the original book, Yan's father would be taken away by the Soul Clan strongman at the 3-year appointment, but before that, because of Gu Fei's protector, the Soul Clan strongman postponed the plan. But what was coming still came. The Canaan Academy is just ahead. Ziyan, you want to go over and take a look, right? In the Black Horn region, Gu Fei and his party finally came back here again after a month. At this moment, they rode on the purple crystal-winged Lion King and appeared in the sky of the Black Horn region. The purple crystal-winged Lion King, whose size was large enough to block out a large area of sunlight, immediately attracted the attention of many people. Look what that is. It's actually a magic beast. It seems to be very powerful. It seems to be the purple crystal-winged Lion King. Look carefully. There seem to be many people on the back of the purple crystal-winged Lion King. Such a powerful magic beast is just a mount. Who on earth can make the purple crystal-winged Lion King willing to be a mount? The appearance of the purple crystal-winged Lion King alarmed many powerful people in the Black Horn region. Even some Huangs looked at the purple crystal-winged Lion King with fear, because, today, the Lion King is already a 7th level magic beast. The arrival of a 7th level magic beast in the Black Horn region is enough to cause an uproar, but the 7th level magic beast really has no appearance in front of Gu Fei and others, so the Lion King is still willing to be a mount. Forget it, come back on the way back. Hearing Gu Fei's words, Xian hesitated slightly, and then shook her head. Okay, then come back on the way back. Let's go to the Gamma Empire first. Gu Fei ordered the Lion King to turn around and rushed towards the Gamma Empire. Upon hearing this, the Lion King shook his wings, raised a gust of wind and flew towards the Gamma Empire. At the Lion King's current speed, it would take 2 or 3 days to fly from the Black Horn region to the Gamma Empire. Looking around on the Lion King's back, the surrounding scenery left a trail of afterimages and was quickly left behind. A few days later, they arrived at their first stop, Qingshan Town. After arriving at Qingshan Town, the Lion King turned into a human again and landed on the ground. Everyone entered Qingshan Town together. Is this the hometown of Sister Xiao Yan? Xian entered the town and looked around curiously. There are quite a lot of practitioners here, but they all look very strong, but their strength is very weak. Xian muttered as she walked. Sister Xian, not every place is as full of geniuses as Canaan College. This is the real life of ordinary people. King Lin came from the grassroots, so he understood. Really? Xian didn't seem to understand. She had lived in Canaan College since she could remember, where geniuses gathered. Naturally, people who licked blood on the tip of a knife were not seen. Later, she followed Gu Fei all the way to Zhongzhou, and the areas where she could move were almost all big families and major cities, as well as later Shengdan City, Ancient Dragon Island and Ancient World. These places were also places where the upper class gathered. What she saw and heard was even more different from Qingshan Town. Xian was like a princess born with delicacies in her mouth, and she didn't know what it was like to eat simple food. The strong have their own survival habits, and the weak have their own survival rules. Qingshan Town is adjacent to the Warcraft Mountain Range, so mercenaries who want to enter the Warcraft Mountain Range to hunt Warcraft often gather here. Most of the mercenaries are weak and rough men. Their living environment is very harsh, and it is rare to see beauties on weekdays. Now, under the leadership of Gu Fei, several beauties came at once, immediately attracting the attention of a large number of mercenaries, and even many people stopped to look unconsciously. Care noticed the gazes of these people, and a cold breath immediately emanated from her. She felt that these people were extremely dirty. In order not to bring unnecessary trouble to himself, Gu Fei slightly released his breath to intimidate everyone. Most of the soldiers were just fighters and masters, and Sun was like a god in front of them. After feeling the pressure from Gu Fei, they immediately retracted their gazes and became honest. Gu Fei and others were also able to stroll around Qingshan Town smoothly. Qingshan Town doesn't look much different from before, Gu Fei said softly. Xiao Yan came with a light heart, but as she walked, she felt that there were not many places here that she missed. Even when she thought of the experiences in the past, Xiao Yan was still a little angry. The only thing she really missed was there. Forget it. Let's go to the small valley. Chapter 133 Queen Medusa's Worries. Then let's go to the small valley and show Xian the place where we fell in love. Gu Fei put his hand on Xiao Yan's slender waist. He had long seen that Xiao Yan had no intention of doing this. He just wanted Xiao Yan to quietly enjoy the joy of returning, so he did not disturb her. Xian was sleeping soundly in Xiao Yan's arms at this time, and did not know what they were talking about. Next, everyone left Qingshan Town and ran towards the small valley of the Warcraft Mountain Range. The vast sea of forests, the wind blew through, and the sea of forests was swept into waves. The whistling sound rumbled like waves throughout the mountains. Above the sea of forests, there was suddenly a sound of breaking wind, and then several black shadows flashed from a distance, and finally stopped in the sky, and his eyes kept scanning below. "We're here." After searching for a while, a valley without a half-passage appeared in Gu's side through the cover of the lush forest. "Is this the valley where you first met? It doesn't look like anything special." Yan jumped up and then floated in the valley. After observing it for a while, she said, "If you don't have the cultivation level of Wang, you will know how secretive this place is." Gu smiled. "There are almost no passages in this valley, and you can only leave from the sky. If you can't fly, you can't find it at all, so it is quiet." Queen Medusa followed Gu Fei this time, looking down curiously. She has always been curious about what the place where Gu Fei and Xiao had stayed looked like, and now she finally saw it with her own eyes. "I don't know if it's still here." Xiao's figure was also floating in the valley. She reached out and took out a whistle. This whistle has not been blown for a long time, but now it is still as bright as new when it is taken out again. It is obvious that Xiao often wipes it. After a while, the melodious flute sounded by Xiao, and after the flute sounded, it was responded by a loud eagle cry. It was Xiao's good friend who had been away for a long time, the first-level magic beast Blue Eagle. The Blue Eagle was only a first-level flying magic beast. After it arrived, it felt the powerful blood pressure of Xun'er, the Lion King and Yan, and was too afraid to move forward. Seeing this, Xiao flew to the Blue Eagle's back, gently hugged its neck and said, "Don't be afraid, they are all my friends. There will be no danger." Under the leadership of Xiao, the Blue Eagle finally flew in front of everyone. However, the Blue Eagle still couldn't overcome the fear in his heart. He didn't dare to look at Xun'er and others, and only dared to stay beside Xiao. "Let's go in and take a look." Xiao invited everyone to enter the valley. The valley was filled with the fragrance of medicine, and the energy of heaven and earth was very abundant, making people feel refreshed. Although this place can't be compared with the ancient world, it is very rare in the outside world. It is a feng shui treasure land. Xun'er smiled. "Not bad. It is indeed very fragrant." Yan also expressed her opinion. However, she just said that there was nothing special here, so the tone of praise was quite perfunctory, and she didn't want to overturn what she just said. "You just don't want to overturn what you just said." Yan thought she could get away with it, but was exposed by King Lin on the spot. "King Lin, you are so disrespectful to me." Yan turned around and immediately started to play with King Lin on the soft grass. Gu looked at the very happy people, with a faint smile on his face. When they were in the ancient world, they were all guests after all, and their lives were a little restrained. But here, they will not have any worries and can be free. Gu's eyes swept across the valley and accidentally noticed a place. There was a thatched house there, but no one had taken care of it for several years. It had been abandoned and the thatch on the roof had moldy. Before, he and Xiao lived in that wooden house for a while, and it carried many beautiful memories between the two. When he thought of this, Gu's fighting spirit gushed out, and in a few breaths, he built a small wooden house on the spot that was big enough for several people to live in. Xiao came to Gu, and Xiao just woke up at this time. She opened her eyes and looked outside, waving her hands randomly, and giggled in Xiao's arms, as if expressing her joy of coming here. "Xiao, this is also our home," Gu said to Xiao lovingly. Next, everyone entered the small wooden house built by Gu temporarily. Although the equipment inside was simple, everyone lived very comfortably. In the next few days, almost all of them spent time here, and all spent a rare quiet time. Yan would take the Lion King and King Lin to play in the Warcraft Mountains. With their strength, they could walk sideways in the nearby Warcraft Mountains. The originally peaceful Warcraft Mountains were mixed with 3 big insects, and they were tossed around. Those high-level Warcrafts that were used to being domineering in the Warcraft Mountains experienced what it meant to be silent. Xiao was accompanied by Gu and Xiao, and she would walk between the valleys every day, reminiscing about the happiness under the imprint of time and space. Only Xun'er always had some melancholy and worry in her eyes. A few days later, Gu came to Xun'er and asked softly, "Are you thinking about your people?" "Yeah." Xun'er wanted to hide her emotions, but when she saw Gu's sincere eyes, she nodded vigorously. This time she was away for a long time, Almost 3 years. 3 years is enough for some places to undergo earth-shaking changes. Do you want to take your people out of the desert when you go back this time? Hearing Gu speak out her heart, Xun'er looked at Gu in surprise. She didn't expect that Gu knew her so well that he could see what was on her mind with just one look. Yes, that's what I have always wished for. I hope my people can leave the barren land of the desert. This Warcraft mountain range is good, the environment is cool, the resources are rich, and it is very suitable for my people to live. But, Gu knew that Queen Medusa was worried that they would be blocked by the human empire. Before, the snake people were driven into the Tiger Desert by the joint efforts of several major human empires. Xun'er was powerful at first, but the combined power of the human empire was even stronger. Faced with the encirclement and suppression of several major human empire armies, the snake people had to retreat to the desert in order to preserve their racial bloodline. As the queen of the snake people, Xun'er's long-cherished wishes to allow the tribe to live in a more comfortable place. She used to have no strength, but now, she is already a 5-star Zong. Don't worry, your business is my business. I will help you deal with it. Gu gently embraced Queen Medusa in his arms. He was willing to be Xun'er's support and solve all her problems for her. The strength of a Zong cannot make the surrounding empires surrender, so what about the strength of his own Zun? There should be no Zun in the surrounding human empires. Even if there is, Gu doesn't care. Whoever dares not to obey, he will be beaten until he obeys. Chapter 134. Yun Shan was shocked. When did the Jiama Empire have a 7th-level monster? My husband, you are so kind. Queen Medusa, who was so powerful and fierce outside, snuggled in Gu's arms, showing a shyness like a little girl. We are already the closest people. No need to say thank you. If you have anything in the future, just tell me directly. Don't hide it in your heart. Gu held Xun'er's waist and spoke very gently. Xun'er felt warm in her heart and touched her belly. Her future child must be very satisfied with this father. Where do you plan to move the snake people? In recent days, I have surveyed this area of the Monster Mountain Range and found that the environment nearby is cool and rich in resources. It is very suitable for the snake people to survive. If they can take root here, it will be the best for the snake people. If the snake people want to live in this eastern Monster Mountain Range, they only need to contact the Gamma Empire and let them borrow the road to pass. As for the monsters in the mountains, they dare not act trashly in front of you, Gu said with a smile. Well, if the Gamma Empire can borrow the road to pass through, it would be good. Xun'er nodded and continued, but later, I don't know if other human empires will encircle and suppress our tribe again. If it was just the Gamma Empire, Xun'er had never been afraid, because the strength of the snake people was not weaker than that of a certain empire. But the enemies of the snake people have never been just one. Don't worry, I will solve it. Gu stood up, very calmly. He didn't take the strong men of the human empire around him seriously, even if it was the Lion Ming sect, the behemoth from the northwest continent. It would be useless. Yes, Xun'er nodded heavily. She had no doubt about Gu's promise. With his strength, he could definitely do it. After talking with Xun'er, he stayed in the valley for another day. Gu took advantage of everyone being there to gather them together. We are going to leave the valley and go to the Tiger Desert, which is Xun'er's hometown. After Gu finished speaking, Xun'er walked to Tiger Desert. King Lin's eyes lit up when he heard it. It's just right that I can go and see the 2 leaders of the Desert Iron Mercenary Group. King Lin is going, so I want to go too. Zun jumped out and said. She was a little tired of playing in the valley these days, and now going to the desert is just what she wants. What about you? Gu looked at Xiao Yan. I'll stay in the small valley. Xiao Yan is still young, so it's better not to travel long distances all the time. Xiao Yan is worried about Xiao Yan and doesn't want to run around all the time. You're not going? Zun looked at Xiao Yan and Xiao Yan looked disappointedly. She looked at Xiao Yan and then at Xiao Yan, and finally shook her head with determination. If Xiao Yan doesn't go, then I'll stay here too. It can be seen that Zun really wanted to go out and play, but she gave up for Xiao Yan. Gu stepped forward and touched Zun's little head, saying, Xiao Yan is also in your care. When I come back, I will refine more pills for you. With this condition,
Xian was obviously much happier. Now Yixian and the others will stay in the valley. I'll have to trouble Senior Yao to protect their safety. Goof looked at Venerable Dan Hao. Don't worry, leave it to me. Venerable Dan Hao nodded very solemnly. With Venerable Dan Hao's Zun strength, there shouldn't be any danger in this area. Then I'll leave it to you. Let's go. Next, Goof, King Lin and Queen Medusa flew towards the capital of the Jiama Empire on the incarnation of the Lion King. Jiama capital. In an inn, a man in black took off his night clothes, revealing his handsome face under the black clothes. This man was Xiao Yan, who rushed back from the Black Horn region. Teacher, although there is no trace of my father's disappearance this time, I always feel that it is related to the Yunlin sect. Xiao Yan's expression was very ugly, and he said in a cold voice, he thought that the Yunlin sect might have chosen to retaliate against the Zhao family because the young sect leader Nilan Yanren was defeated by him before. The Zhao family has few enemies, and the Yunlin sect is the only one that has the power to make Zhan disappear quietly, and they seem to have sufficient motivation. Your father is just a great Qi. There is no reason for the huge Yunlin sect to lower its status to capture him. The Yunlin sect certainly has a grudge against you, but it disdains such an act. Yao Lao's soul floated out of the ring and pondered. However, this Yunlin sect is a bit problematic. I sneaked in yesterday and found that there are 7 or 8 more Huangs on this mountain than 2 years ago. How can a sect in the Jiama Empire suddenly have so many powerful people? Even if Yao Lao could think of it, the only way to create so many powerful people in a short period of time is elixir. But most of those elixirs are high-level elixirs. The strongest alchemist in the entire Jiama Empire is only Danwang Guhi. At his level, he should not be able to refine an elixir that allows Duang to directly break through Huang. How did the Yunlin sect do it? This is too unreasonable. Xiao Yan nodded, and then fell silent. He also knew that he was just guessing because of his father's disappearance. Even if Yun Lanzong had the motive and strength, there was no evidence to prove that the real culprit behind the scenes was Yun Lanzong. When Xiao Yan was thinking, he suddenly heard a hurried footsteps coming from outside the door. Third brother, you are back. Have you found anything? 2 voices sounded outside. Xiao Yan pushed open the door, and the people who came were his 2 elder brothers, Zhao Ding and Zhao Li. Now the cultivation of these 2 brothers has already entered the stage of great fighting masters. The Desert Iron mercenary group is thriving under the leadership of the 2. And Xiao Yan is also practicing rapidly in Canaan Academy. Originally, everything in the Zhao family was developing in a good direction, but they didn't expect to encounter such a thing. I haven't found anything, but there should be some problems with Yun Lanzong. I will continue to investigate. Xiao Yan shook his head and looked in the direction of Yun Lanzong with clear eyes. In the distant sky, a sound of breaking wind sounded, and then a huge black shadow passed by. The black shadow was the purple crystal-winged Lion King. After a while of traveling, Goof, Queen Medusa, King Lin and their group saw a huge city. We are in front of the Jiama imperial capital. Goof and the other 2 rode the purple crystal-winged Lion King to the outside of the Jiama imperial capital. Although they stopped outside the imperial capital, the powerful energy that the Lion King stirred up invisibly still alarmed the strong men in the imperial capital. This breath is so strong. In a hall in the Jiama palace, Jia Zingshan looked outside the hall vigilantly. Is there a strong man coming? Even Grandpa Huang has such a big reaction. Seeing Jia Zingshan's reaction, the eldest Princess Xiao Yi in the hall showed doubts on her face. Grandpa Huang looked so solemn. The person who came should be stronger than Grandpa Huang. Could it be Yun Shan? Yeah, take care of the order of the imperial capital. I'll go out and take a look. After Jia Zingshan finished speaking, he flew out of the palace to search for the source of the breath. How can there be such a strong aura of a demon beast? At the same time, in a main hall above Yunlin sect, an old man in a white robe who was sitting cross-legged suddenly opened his eyes. This aura should only be possible for a 7th-level demon beast. The old man in the white robe flashed and appeared in the sky outside the hall. His eyes pierced through the clouds and looked down the mountain. At this time, a group of black fog suddenly appeared and interrupted his exploration. It seems that there are some great people coming to the Jiama Empire. The black fog laughed coldly. Do you know who they are? The old man in the white robe looked at the black fog. Even if I know,
You are not qualified to know at your level. He. Interesting. The black fog laughed and dissipated, leaving only the old man in the white robe clenched his fists and his eyes were extremely gloomy. Chapter 135 Nilan Yanren. Great. He is here. The teacher is saved. After leaving the palace, Jia Zingshan immediately ran to the place where the aura came from. Not long after, he saw the source of the powerful aura from afar. Is this the purple crystal winged Lion King? Seeing the purple crystal winged Lion King, Jia Zingshan could also confirm the identity of the visitor. It was Gu Fei. So it's Gu Fei. Gu Fei, why don't you tell me in advance that I can prepare a feast to welcome you? Jia Zingshan landed in front of Gu Fei and others. Smiling and polite, he could sense that the purple crystal winged Lion King was much stronger than before, and even King Lin, the little girl, had already entered the Huang cultivation level, which was incredible. It has only been less than 3 years, and a person who has just entered the cultivation has actually achieved such an achievement. Jia Zingshan instantly felt like he had cultivated to a dog for so many years. Queen Medusa. When his side saw Xun'er, Jia Zingshan was stunned for a moment, because he had dealt with Queen Medusa before. This fierce and powerful woman is now following Gu Fei. Moreover, the look she gave to young friend Gu Fei was full of tenderness. Is this the look that should appear in this woman's eyes? Jia Zingshan took a breath and his eyes fell on the most unfathomable Gu Fei. Although Jia Zingshan could not detect the realm of Gu Fei's aura, even his mount was a 7th level one, so his own strength must be unimaginable. He guessed that he might have reached the high-level Zhong, even the legendary Zun. Young Master Gu Fei, you have come from a long way, you must be tired. Why don't you go to the palace to rest, and let me do my best to be a good host? The purpose of Gu Fei's trip was to discuss things with Jia Zingshan, and it was just right to go to the palace to discuss. Then I'll trouble you. Gu Fei smiled. Please. Jia Zingshan was overjoyed to see Gu Fei agree to him, and led everyone to the palace. The demon beast just now. Was young Master Gu Fei so good? The teacher is saved. In the imperial capital, at the Nilan family mansion, Nilan Yanren had seen the purple crystal winged Lion King flying over the sky before, and now she finally came to her senses. Because of the changes in the Yunlin sect and the fact that her teacher Yuan was under house arrest, Nilan Yanren has been staying in the Nilan mansion for a while. She wanted to rescue Yuan from house arrest, but her strength was too weak. It was useless. Now that Gu Fei has arrived, Nilan Yanren has seen hope again. Tomorrow is the day of my teacher's wedding. I have to hurry. With a firm look in her eyes, Nilan Yanren quickly ran out of the Nilan mansion. That man just now was so majestic. He actually rode a 7th level magic beast. In an inn in the imperial capital, Yan looked at the purple crystal winged Lion King passing by in the sky and the several figures standing on it with a scorching gaze. One day, I will also be able to roam the sky. Yanzi, that man just now had a very high cultivation level and a good soul power. Just now, he should have discovered my existence. Such a genius, even in Zhongzhou, is definitely a person who attracts worldwide attention. Yao Lao in the ring exclaimed. Hearing that Yao Lao's existence was discovered, Yan was a little nervous. Will he plot against Master? If he did, he would have already done it. Yao Lao told Yan to relax. Facing such a powerful person, no matter how vigilant he was, it was useless. Even if Yan used his soul power, he would definitely not be able to escape a single move in the hands of that person. This soul wave. Gu Fei, who was on the back of the purple crystal winged Lion King, glanced at a certain place in the city below, and then quickly retracted his gaze. He sensed a rather abnormal soul wave, which was powerful but seemed very weak. I wonder where the lonely ghost is. Gu Fei didn't care about it. Under the leadership of Jia Zingshan, they soon arrived at the palace. On the way, Jia Zingshan passed the news to Yao Yi, saying that Master Gu Fei was coming. Yao Yi was extremely excited when he heard this, and immediately received Gu Fei with a banquet of the highest standard. When Gu Fei arrived at the palace, the exquisite and luxurious banquet was ready. Seeing this, Gu Fei couldn't help but admire the speed of this royal family, which was extraordinary. Young Master Gu Fei, please take a seat. Everyone, please take a seat. Jia Zingshan invited everyone to take a seat, and the eldest princess Yao Yi also arrived. When Jia Zingshan saw Yao Yi appear, He was slightly stunned, because, in just a few minutes, Yao Yi took off the armor she was wearing and put on a gorgeous dress. Yao Yi's tall figure was fully displayed under the dress, but compared with Kai she was still a little behind. Yao Yi knew this very well, so she always looked at Kai with envy. Kai was an experienced person, and she could roughly guess what was in her mind when she saw Yao Yi's appearance. Halfway through the banquet, Jia Zingshan took the initiative to say, "Young Master Gu suddenly came to the imperial capital. There must be something going on, right?" "There is indeed something." Gu did not hide it. "Young Master, just tell me. I will go through fire and water to do things for you." Whether it was for the royal family of the Jiama Empire or the Jiama Empire, he had to make friends with the mysterious and extraordinary strong man in front of him. "If the other party really needs something from me, it would be great to take this opportunity to make them owe me a favor." A favor from a super strong person is worth 1,000,000 gold. "You should know this, the queen of the snake people, Medusa." Gu pointed to Kair beside him. "Queen Medusa, your style is more prosperous than before. I admire you." Jia Zingshan clasped his fists to Kair. "It's like this, the Tager Desert is extremely dry, and its environment is not suitable for the survival of the snake people. So I want to borrow the Gamma Empire to move the territory of the Snake people to the eastern Warcraft Mountains. I hope the Gamma Empire army will not stop us." Kair directly stated her purpose. "Just borrow the road." Jia Zingshan looked at Gu and Kair. With the strength of Gu and others, let alone borrowing the road in the Gamma Empire, it would not be difficult to subvert the entire Gamma Empire. They were willing to discuss borrowing the road with me, which was already a bit of face for me. Although this matter helped Queen Medusa, it can be seen that Queen Medusa and Gu have a close relationship. It is a good thing for the Jiama royal family to do favors for each other. Of course we can borrow the passage. The Jiama Empire will not block the migration of the snake people. After thinking it through, Jia Zingshan immediately expressed his position. Kair's expression relaxed after hearing this. Although my Jiama Empire agrees, the other major empires. Jia Zingshan raised his concerns. After all, the nearby major empires have had a grudge against the snake people for generations, and they cannot sit idly by and watch other races multiply and become stronger. I will take care of those. You don't need to worry about it. Just give orders to the border defense troops to execute them. Gu raised his hand confidently. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136. Gu. If she doesn't want to get married, no one can force her. Since Gu had said this, Jia Zingshan did not say anything more. Although there are some strong people in the major empires surrounding the Gamma Empire, they are not too strong. With Gu's unfathomable strength and the 7th level magic beast beside him, he does have the confidence to say this. After discussing the migration of the snake people, the atmosphere of the banquet relaxed a lot. Jia Zingshan adhered to the principle of respecting guests and did not ask too many questions. But Yao Yi could not hold back. She saw Queen Medusa leaning against Gu. Gu touched Queen Medusa's belly from time to time, and Queen Medusa responded with a sweet smile. That look was clearly love. Could it be that Queen Medusa and Gu were together? Thinking of this, Jia Zingshan felt a little incredible. The legendary cold, bloodthirsty, and emotionless Queen Medusa would actually fall in love with a human? Jia Zingshan was surprised, and Yao Yi was jealous. When she learned that Gu had returned, she immediately dressed up carefully, wanting to re-establish her image in front of Gu, and even to capture Gu's heart. But until now, Gu had not even looked at her a few times. "Mr. Gu," Yao Yi decided to take the initiative to talk. "I feel that you have become much stronger than the last time we met, but what opportunity did you encounter?" "No opportunity, purely relying on talent." Gu's answer that directly killed the conversation made Kair beside him puff and roll her eyes at him. Yao Yi smiled awkwardly and said, "Mr. Gu is really amazing and brilliant. I believe he will be the strongest person in the world in the future." That's when Gu was halfway through his words, and saw Kair's rolling eyes again in his peripheral vision. He smiled at the corner of his mouth and did not continue to answer. Yao Yi was not stupid. Gu Fei was now wholeheartedly on Queen Medusa and did not want to talk to her at all. Although she was extremely disappointed, she would not make herself boring. Yao Yi had just calmed down when another more lively person appeared. Master Gu Fei, how could you not tell me that you are back? I have long wanted to show you my alchemy skills. The door opened, and a little girl came in bouncing. When did you have an apprentice? Xun'er asked. Gu Fei smiled bitterly and said, she insisted on calling me master. Yao Yi came to Gu Fei, with a bit of admiration in her clever eyes. With her arrival, the banquet became much more lively. Yao Yi kept talking to Gu Fei, but unfortunately, she was interrupted by Yao Yi before she could say a few words. A subordinate came to Yao Yi, and Yao Yi whispered a few words. Yao Yi frowned slightly, and then looked at Gu Fei. Master Gu Fei, Nilan Yanren wants to see you, and she looks very anxious. I wonder if you want to see her? Why does she want to see me? Hearing this, Gu Fei frowned. She and Nilan Yanren didn't have much friendship. It was nothing more than that she helped her grandfather get rid of the network poison because of Yan's plea, but that was also due to the relationship with Yan, and had nothing to do with Nilan Yanren. She didn't say anything. Yao Yi shook his head and said, however, tomorrow is the day when her teacher, Yuan, the leader of Yunlan sect, gets married. She won't go to Yunlan sect to help, but she has the leisure to come here. Yuan is getting married? With whom? Hearing Yao Yi's words, Gu Fei was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect that Yuan was going to get married. On the side, Queen Medusa's beautiful eyes showed a strange color. Before, after she failed to evolve, she had been brought by Gu Fei. She knew that Gu Fei knew Yuan, a woman, and that their relationship seemed a little ambiguous, but she was very smart and didn't say anything at this time, just listening silently. She is not the queen now, but the man behind Gu Fei. What Gu Fei is going to do depends on himself. Dan King Gu Hei, Yao Yi replied. Gu Hei? Hearing Yao Yi's answer, Gu Fei frowned again. In the original novel, this incident also seemed to have happened. However, Yuan was forced by Yunshan to marry Gu Hei. I wonder if Yuan was also forced by Yunshan this time. Let her come over, Gu Fei said in a deep voice. Soon, Nilan Yanren was led over by Yao Yi. Nilan Yanren staggered into the hall. When she saw Gu Fei sitting there, she wanted to rush over quickly like a person who was about to die of thirst, but Yao Yi suddenly pulled him. Young Master Gu Fei is my royal guest. You must not disrespect him. Yao Yi's voice sounded in Nilan Yanren's mind. Nilan Yanren regained her sanity and walked quickly to Gu Fei. Young Master Gu Fei, please save my teacher, Nilan Yanren said in a crying voice. She knew that her teacher and Gu Fei should be friends. It was because of teacher Yan's plea that Gu Fei was willing to help Grandpa detoxify. As long as she explained to Gu Fei the predicament Yan was facing now, Gu Fei would definitely help Yan. With Gu Fei's mysterious strength, it should not be difficult to rescue Yan. The key lies in whether he is willing to help himself. Just now I heard from Yao Yi that your teacher is going to marry Gu Hei. Are you here for this? Gu Fei said directly without beating around the bush. Yes, I am here for this. Is your teacher willing? Gu Fei asked again. Of course not, Nilan Yanren answered immediately. Although the teacher respects Master Gu Hei very much, it is just a courtesy, without any emotion mixed in. The master proposed that the teacher marry Master Gu Hei, and the teacher refused verbally and disobeyed. But the master, in order to win over Master Gu Hei, actually sealed the teacher's fighting spirit and put him under house arrest. Now the teacher is trapped in the Yunlan sect. I know that Master Gu Fei has some friendship with the teacher, so I came to ask for help. If Master Gu Fei is unwilling to help, then the teacher. Nilan Yanren has sad emotions. Emotional value increases by 60. As Nilan Yanren spoke, she began to sob, her tone extremely sad. After Gu Fei heard Nilan Yanren's description, he frowned, and the vast fighting spirit began to float unconsciously on the surface of his body. So strong, just a little breath emitted made Yao Yi and Nilan Yanren feel very uncomfortable, and Jia Xingchen protected them in time. He felt that the fighting spirit on Gu Fei was as vast as the sea, and he was just a stream in front of him. How unreasonable. Yunshan's behavior is simply unworthy of being a teacher, Gu Fei said angrily. At the beginning, he reminded Yan that there would be a broader sky if she left the Jiama Empire, but Yuan hesitated because she was concerned about the Yunlan sect. Gu Fei also respected Yuan's decision, but unexpectedly, without Yan's deep hatred with the Yunlan sect, this thing still happened. She doesn't want to get married, and no one can force her. Chapter 137 Yuan, as a teacher, is this how you treat your apprentice? Yunlan sect. Because tomorrow is the wedding day of sect master Yuan. Tonight, in Yunlan sect, countless gorgeous, bright red lanterns dotted this huge mountain. Sect master Yuan's wedding is an extremely important event for the entire Yunlan sect, and the person that Yuan is going to marry is Dan King Gu Fei, who has a very high reputation in Yunlan sect and even in the Jiama Empire, except for Yuan herself, who is not satisfied with this marriage. Everyone else seems to be very happy, especially Dan King Gu Fei. He has admired Yuan for a long time, and tomorrow he will get his wish, and he is very excited. Therefore, on the eve of the wedding, the entire Yunlan sect is filled with a festive atmosphere. In the evening, in a hall, there are only two people, Yuan and the protagonist of tomorrow's wedding, Dan King Gu Fei. Gu Fei, after the wedding tomorrow, you will really be my Yunlan sect. From now on, Yunlan sect will rely on you young people, Yuan said with a smile on his face. He is very optimistic about Gu Fei. This person will have the opportunity to become a 7th grade alchemist in the future, which will be a great help to the Yunlan sect. He can also use this identity to win over other strong men to join the Yunlan sect. Old sect master, after the wedding tomorrow, please remove the seal in Yuan's body. I will take her out for a walk. If she figures it out, she will understand the old sect master's painstaking efforts for her. Gu Fei said with a smile. Although he knew that Yuan sealed Yuan's chi for himself, Gu Fei felt distressed when he saw Yuan frowning all day long. Yuan stroked his beard and nodded with a smile, saying, "Of course, that girl was trained by me anyway. It's not easy for me to seal her like this. Alas, although the girl is unwilling now, she will fall in love with you over time. Your fate in the future depends on you." Yuan can put Yuan in Gu Fei's hands, but whether Gu Fei can keep Yuan depends on herself. Ha ha ha. Gu Fei will definitely do his best to make Yuan happy. Although he didn't know how much hypocrisy there was in Yuan words, Gu Fei still smiled and nodded, bowed his hands and thanked him. If there is nothing else, I will leave first. There are still some things to prepare for tomorrow's wedding. Okay, go. Yuan watched Gu Fei leave, and his eyes were very satisfied with this future son-in-law. Gu Fei left the hall and came to a pavilion on the mountain. In the pavilion, several elders of the Yunlan sect gathered. When the elders saw Gu Fei coming, they all stood up to greet him. As the only 6th grade alchemist in the Jiama Empire, Gu Fei has transcendent status both in the Jiama Empire and the Yunlan sect. What's more, now that he is about to marry Yuan, his status will rise even higher. These elders all want to curry favor with Gu Fei so that they can get some benefits in the future. Haha, Elder Gu Fei, you haven't rested yet. Tomorrow is a big day. How can Elder Gu Fei sleep? Haha, if it were me, I would also be unable to sleep all night. Several elders of Yunlan sect congratulated Gu Fei. Gu Fei was also very happy. Tomorrow he would get what he wanted. Gu Fei responded to the elders' congratulations one by one. Suddenly, his eyes suddenly focused and looked up at a place in the sky. So strong, there he felt an extremely strong pressure of fighting spirit, which was even stronger than Yuan. Yuan, come to see me quickly. At this moment, a shout came from the sky above Yunlan sect, and the voice was filled with a huge pressure. Who is it? The elders of Yunlan sect also looked surprised, and their minds kept guessing. Gu Fei was uneasy. Yuan noticed this breath before Gu Fei, but before he could react, the sound resounded throughout Yunlan mountain. Although Yuan was upset, he did not dare to act trashly in front of such a strong man, and hurried out to greet him. Which senior is visiting? In the territory of Yunlan sect, Yuan was embarrassed to be directly named, but he was still polite. Why did he come to Yuan? At the same time, a black shadow around the mountain was surprised. He was Xiao Yan, who came to investigate Yunlan sect at night. At this moment, he had guessed Gu Fei's identity and learned that he was the genius of the ancient clan mentioned by Xun'er before. This voice, it's him. In a hall, Yuan, who who was under house arrest, had surprise in her beautiful eyes. In the past few days, Gu's figure appeared in her mind from time to time, hoping that he would appear to save her from the water and fire, and now he actually appeared. If she could get Gu's help, she would definitely be free again. But, is he here to save me? Yuan began to get nervous again. Outside, under the gaze of many Yunlin sect disciples, a huge monster descended in the sky. There were 3 people on the huge monster. One of them was a stunning beauty, one was a cute little girl, and the other was a handsome young man with high spirits. Standing on a 7th level monster and accompanied by a beautiful woman, Gu appeared in such a demeanor that shocked everyone in Yunlin sect and made them extremely envious. It's him. He saw Gu's appearance clearly and was surprised. He had seen Gu once before when he was escaping outside the holy city of the snake people. Although it was a quick glance, the impression was extremely deep, and at that time, it was Gu who rescued the besieged Yuan. Tomorrow is Yuan and I's wedding, and he suddenly came here now. With the arrival of Gu's mind was complicated and his thoughts were full of thoughts. I guess you're Mr. Gu. I wonder if you have any instructions for coming here today? Yuan Shan's voice was very polite, and he also noticed Queen Medusa who had broken through the dzong. Yuan Shan, I heard that tomorrow is the wedding of Yuan, the leader of your Yunlan sect, Gu said directly. That's right. The Yunlan sect was now decorated with lights and colorful decorations, and the invitations had already been sent out, so Yuan Shan couldn't deny it even if he wanted to. Did she marry voluntarily? Hearing this, Yuan Shan suddenly fell silent. He wanted to say that it was voluntary, but when he saw Gu's eyes, he swallowed the words that were about to come to his mouth. Gu must have known something, that was why he came here. If he lied, he would definitely anger Gu again. Gu below was also a little guilty. Although it was not his idea to imprison Yuan, it was inseparable from his greed. Yuan didn't want to marry him, since it was not voluntary. How can you, as a teacher, force her to marry? Although Gu's tone was calm, the fighting spirit contained in his voice pressed on Yuan Shan, bringing great pressure to Yuan Shan. Mr. Gu, this was all due to my confusion. Yuan Shan was also very sensible. He knew that he was definitely no match for Gu. Under the pressure of Gu's powerful momentum, he simply gave in. Chapter 138, A mere guardian dares to threaten me. Who gave you the courage? At this moment, Yuan Shan was very regretful. If he had known that his beloved disciple Yuan actually had this relationship, he would never force Yuan to marry Gu. What is Gu? He is just a 6th grade alchemist with the potential to become a 7th grade alchemist, and the one in front of him is even more powerful than himself. If Yunlin sect gets help from this person, not to mention dominating the Jayama Empire, it can occupy a place in the entire northwest continent. Since you know you are wrong, why don't you let him go? Gu's tone was calm but unquestionable. Yes, I'll go right away. Yuan Shan nodded repeatedly and flashed to the hall where Yuan was. Before, he looked at Yuan with no emotion, just treating her as a tool to be used, but now he helped Yuan up from the ground as if he was showing his courtesy. Xun'er, there is a senior outside who wants to see you. Follow me to meet him. Yuan Shan helped Yuan up and removed the seal in her body. Yuan's fighting spirit was restored. She exerted force to shake Yuan Shan's hand away, not wanting him to touch her. Then she quickly flew out of the hall. Yuan Shan was a little embarrassed, but he followed him out immediately. The two came to Gu, and Yuan Shan looked at Yuan with an apologetic look. Xun'er, your teacher was also considering the foundation of Yunlan sect before. I hope you don't blame your teacher, Yuan Shan pleaded with Yuan. Yuan's expression was indifferent, but she still remembered Yuan Shan's kindness in raising and teaching her. She didn't embarrass Yuan Shan anymore, but looked at Gu not far away. The two looked at each other with complicated expressions in their eyes. Teacher, Yuan also rushed to Yunlan sect. At the previous banquet, Gu stated that he was going to rescue Yuan, so he took the purple crystal-winged Lion King to go first. Yuan couldn't fly, so she could only follow behind on foot. When she arrived at this moment, she just saw Gu threatening Yuan Shan. She didn't expect that Gu could solve the big trouble with just 1 or 2 words, and she couldn't help but admire Gu even more. Gu's realm was not something she could peek into, and his strength might be much stronger than she imagined. "Thank you. You saved me again." Yuan thanked him softly, but her eyes still looked at Queen Medusa from time to time. She remembered that before, it was King Lin and a girl named Xiao who accompanied Gu Fei. How come now, there is only King Lin and the notorious Queen Medusa? What a coincidence. If Xiao and Kair hadn't wanted to return home, I wouldn't have arrived at Jiama Imperial Capital at this time, and I wouldn't have known that you were forced to marry. Gu Fei chuckled. "Where is Xiao now?" Yuan asked. "She is living with our child in the place where I met her before. For a while he has a child." Hearing Gu Fei's words, Yuan's expression suddenly became a little complicated. "I didn't expect that he already had a child after they had been apart for such a long time. Then he and Xiao should be living happily, right?" Yuan feels envious, and her emotion value increases by 100. "Congratulations." Yuan smiled to congratulate, but the smile seemed a bit forced. "Let's talk about it later, let me deal with the rat first." After Gu Fei finished speaking, his tone changed from calm to cold. "How long do you want to watch? Do you really think no one can find you?" As soon as Gu Fei's cold words came out, he suddenly stretched out his palm to grab the void somewhere behind the Yunlan sect. A ball of black mist emerged out of thin air, but it was firmly imprisoned by a spatial force. Gu Fei saw the black shadow emerge in the system's emotion value prompt, and also confirmed his identity. "This person is the Eagle Guardian." "Who is this person? How could he appear in my Yunlan sect?" "This person is full of yin energy, and he is not a good person at first glance. Such a yin and evil person must be extremely vicious. He appeared in my Yunlan sect and must have ulterior motives." Everyone in the Yunlan sect was surprised and condemned the Eagle Guardian, while Yunshan looked guilty. "It's actually someone from the Soul Palace." At this moment, in Yan's ring, Yao Lao was very shocked and a little afraid. "Soul Palace? Who are they?" Yan asked. "You don't need to know too much about this force. You just need to know that they are the existence standing at the top of the Qi continent. Like the black fog that appears here now, it is just the most ordinary guardian level among them." "Is this just the most ordinary level?" Although Yan didn't know the true strength of the Eagle Guardian, but seeing that he was standing in the air, he was at least a Zong strongman. The weakest ones are all Zong. Yan's heart was filled with shock. "Come here." In the sight of everyone, Gu Fei grabbed the Eagle Guardian through the air and brought him in front of him. Senior, spare my life." The Eagle Guardian felt Gu Fei's terrifying strength and begged for mercy in fear. Noisy, Gu Fei patted the Eagle Guardian's soul and almost broke his soul. The Eagle Guardian immediately became depressed. "Yunshan, the reason why you and those elders have made great progress in cultivation should be because of the help of this disgusting thing. In exchange, you need to help him create wars, kill, and let him collect the souls of the dead, right?" Gu Fei held the soul of the Eagle Protector in his hand and looked at Yunshan, and Yunshan felt even more guilty. Yuan looked at Yunshan in shock when she heard this, thinking about the recent abnormalities of Yunlan sect. Could it be related to this black fog? And the mastermind behind the scenes turned out to be her most respected teacher. "Master, is it true?" Yuan questioned Yunshan. She didn't expect that Yunshan would actually cooperate with such a dark and cruel guy. "Xun'er, I did this to glorify Yunlan sect." Yunshan saw that he couldn't deny it, so he could only nod and admit it. "So, you have to do whatever it takes." Yuan was completely disappointed with Yunshan. Her master had completely changed. In order to gain powerful strength and make Yunlan sect stronger, he had already done whatever it took. The Eagle Protector didn't care what Yunshan did, he cared about his own life. "Senior, you are so familiar with the purpose of my coming here. You should know that I am the guardian of the Soul Palace. For the sake of the Soul Palace, please let me go." "Of course, I will remember your kindness for the rest of my life and will definitely repay you." The depressed Eagle Guardian revealed his identity. Although the words were begging for mercy, they were faintly pressured. This pressure made Gu Fei very unhappy. "A mere guardian, are you qualified to threaten me? Even if Hunmi Sheng came today, he would not be qualified to threaten me." Gu Fei frowned, and with a slight force on his palm, the soul of the Eagle Guardian was directly crushed. As for Hunmi Sheng that Gu Fei mentioned, at the level of the Eagle Guardian, he only knew his name, but had never had the opportunity to see its true appearance. The eagle guardian was crushed, but it alarmed another person hiding in the dark. Hiss! In Xiao Yan's ring, Yao Lao's soul trembled, and he quickly restrained all his perceptions, and must not let Gu Fei notice. Gu Fei's method was too terrifying. If I were discovered, and the other party was in a bad mood and grabbed my hand, I would probably end up like the Eagle Protector. Chapter 139 Gu Hei Yan. No need to beg him, I can save the old sect master. Gu Fei's killing of the Eagle Guardian in seconds not only shocked Yuan, but also shocked all the strong men in the entire Jiama Empire. Now almost all the strong men in the entire Jiama Empire have gathered in Yunlin sect. They all looked at Gu Fei standing on the huge monster in the sky, all with respect and admiration. I always knew he was strong, but I didn't know how strong he was. Now I see him. It's terrifying. Jia Xingchen and Hai Bodong, who came here to join in the fun, also looked solemn, with horror in their eyes. They finally had a concrete understanding of Gu Fei's strength. The Eagle Guardian just now seemed to be stronger than Yuan, a 3-starred Zong, but he was killed by Gu Fei like a chicken. Fortunately, my Jiama royal family has never offended this person. Jia Xingchen showed a look of relief. It was a great blessing not to offend such a peerless strong man, let alone make friends. Hai Bodong lowered his head and pondered, whispering, if there is a chance in the future, we must let the Mittel family do their best to make friends with this senior. The Eagle Guardian was killed, and Yuan was still in shock. He didn't expect that this mysterious Eagle Guardian would not be able to escape from Gu Fei's hands. A sense of panic instantly appeared in his heart. He knew that Gu Fei would deal with him next. He wanted to escape, but as soon as he moved his feet, he made a painful sound. Ah! Yuan suddenly hugged his head and wailed, and a dark black color appeared on the surface of his body. Not only him, but the rest of the elders of the Yunlin sect also froze. Their bodies were still like puppets, and their faces were filled with pain, which was extremely twisted and hideous. What's wrong? What's going on? Seeing this scene, Yuan and Nelen Yanren's beautiful eyes showed doubts, and they didn't understand the changes in Yuan and the elders. Jia Xingchen, Hai Bodong and others also looked puzzled, but then frowned slightly. They felt that the sudden strength of the Yunlin sect was inseparable from this change. Seeing Yuan and the others like this, Yuan wanted to help Yuan, but was directly blown away by Yuan's terrifying energy. Yuan's face was pale, and she bit her red lips unwillingly. She knew that she was powerless, so she could only look at Gu Fei for help. Yuan, why do you think the Yunlin sect has grown so much in just 3 years? Yuan, including those people, all got help from the Soul Palace. Dealing with the dark people in the Soul Palace, this is the price. If I don't come today, when the Yunlin sect is useless to the Soul Palace one day, they can suck away the souls of these people at any time. Gu Fei explained lightly. Now, the Eagle Protector is dead, and the means he imposed will explode. At most Yuan and others will become people of chaos, and finally die suddenly. Become people of chaos, die suddenly. Seeing such a serious consequence, Yuan's pretty face turned pale, her jade hands clenched, and she was extremely disappointed with Yuan. Yuan is not leading the Yunlin sect to prosperity. This is heading towards eternal damnation. Please, save them. No matter how disappointed she was, he was her mentor after all. Yuan, I saved you because we are friends, and these people are strangers to me. Why should I save them? Yuan was speechless. She knew that Gu Fei had helped her too much and had no obligation to save Yuan and the elders. Yuan, don't ask him. Maybe I can save the old sect master and the elders. At this moment, Gu Hei stood up. He was a 6th grade high-level alchemist, and his soul power was stronger than that of ordinary people. This was also the reason why the Eagle Guardian did not use the help of the Soul Palace on him, fearing that he would find out something. Can you do it? Yuan subconsciously questioned Gu Hei. Before, Gu Hei knew that she didn't want to get married and was under house arrest with her power sealed, but he still chose to marry her, which made her very disgusted. Moreover, Gu Hei was just a low-leveled Huang and a 6th grade alchemist. How could he save Yuan and the elders? Facing Yuan's gaze, Gu Hei felt guilty. His eyes kept dodging, and he dared not look Yuan in the face. Trust me, I can save the old master. After a moment, Gu He showed determination in his eyes, and walked towards Yun Shan, who was in pain and on the verge of collapse. Gu He released his fighting spirit to protect his whole body, and then carefully approached Yun Shan. After approaching, he stretched out his hand and touched Yun Shan's brow. The soul power spread out, trying to suppress the power in Yun Shan's body. But the next moment, Yun Shan suddenly rioted and slapped Gu He away with a palm. Even though Gu He was prepared, he was still slapped and vomited blood. Gu He, who was slapped away, looked at Yun Shan unwillingly, clenching his fists tightly. He wanted to try again, but as soon as he moved his feet, the terrifying power he had just felt in Yun Shan's body seemed to come back. Finally, he sighed. The determination in his eyes disappeared, and he showed despair and stopped talking. In the chaotic state, there was no consciousness, like a walking corpse. Gu He's current soul power was far from enough to treat it. Seeing that Gu He was powerless, the only hope was Gu Fei. Yun looked at Gu Fei with an almost pleading look. She clenched her jade hands tightly, hating her own incompetence. Her originally ruddy face became extremely pale because of the huge struggle in her heart, like the mist in the early morning of the deep mountains. Gu Fei, as long as you save my master and others, I am willing to serve you as a slave. Yun did not dare to look at Gu Fei when she spoke. She was afraid that Gu Fei would look down on her for giving up her self-esteem. Her originally fragile body looked even thinner and shaky in the strong wind of the purple crystal-winged Lion King's wings. In the sky of the entire Yunlin sect, Yun seemed to be helpless facing Gu Fei alone, and also facing the people of the Yunlin sect who were like zombies behind her. Gu Fei looked at Yun who was messy in the strong wind, and finally couldn't bear it. Alas! You are burdened by the Yunlin sect after all. Gu Fei sighed and agreed to Yun. The powerful soul power was released from Gu Fei's body, instantly covering the entire Yunlin sect. As soon as the soul power came out, Jia Xingshan, Hai Bodong and others immediately frowned, secretly sighing that Gu Fei was not only powerful, but also had soul power that was beyond reach. The special energy left in the souls of Yun Shan and others by the Eagle Protector was expelled by Gu Fei with soul power, and a cloud of black air floated out from their heads. Gu Fei pinched his fingers, and a stream of strange fire shot out, burning the black air into nothingness. Gu He witnessed all this with his own eyes, and his heart was filled with despair. He wanted to find a crack in the ground to hide in. The other party came to snatch his future wife, and he was powerless. Now his best soul power is far inferior to the other party, and the key is that he just made a fool of himself in public. What kind of strange fire is that, so powerful? In the crowd, a pair of burning eyes stared at the strange fire in Gu Fei's hand, and the source of the eyes was Yan. Yan's greed flashed in his eyes, but he was eager. But facing a strong man like Gu Fei, he didn't have the courage to covet the other party's strange fire. Chapter 140 Yun. The world is so big, I want to go see it. This boy will achieve immeasurable success in the future. Yao Lao's soul was lurking in the ring in Yan's hand. He gathered all his soul power to prevent Gu Fei's attention. But just now, even in the ring, Yao Lao felt Gu Fei's huge soul power and was extremely shocked. After the black air was burned out, Yun Shan, who was originally chaotic and crazy, finally calmed down and gradually regained consciousness. Seeing this, Yun's face showed surprise. Compared with Yun Shan's awakening, she was more surprised that Gu Fei was willing to help her. Thank you for your help, Senior. Yun Shan will never forget your kindness. After Yun Shan woke up, he thanked Gu Fei. He didn't expect that cooperating with the Soul Palace would almost make him end up like that. Many elders of the Yunlan sect also thanked Gu Fei at this time, but Gu Fei didn't bother to pay attention to them, and Gu He, who was slapped away by Yun Shan, was almost not asked at this time. Only his direct disciple Yu Ling went over to support him. Xun'er, I'm sorry for you. After Yun thanked Gu Fei, he immediately turned around and apologized to Yun. His attitude was extremely sincere, even a little servile. Yun's expression was very indifferent to Yun Shan's apology. She had done her best for this teacher. She didn't even have much attachment to the entire Yunlan sect at this moment. Teacher, since you have returned to the world, Yun will completely resign from the position of the leader of the Yunlan sect. The world is so vast, I want to go out and take a walk.
Yuan directly stated her meaning. She had just figured it out. She couldn't live for the Yunlan sect in the future. Yun Shan's face was very regretful when he heard this. He heard the coldness in Yun's tone, and knew that the wrong things he had done before had chilled Yun's heart, and he didn't have the face to keep her. Okay. Yun Shan bowed his head and said, "Teacher, are you really going to leave?" Nilan Yanren looked at Yun. Yun and Nilan Yanren looked at each other. Her eyes were very firm, and she nodded heavily. "The Qi continent is so big. I have long wanted to go out and train. Teacher, let me go with you." If Yun left, there would be nothing in Yunlan sect for Nilan Yanren to linger. Moreover, after experiencing the defeat in the 3-year agreement, Nilan Yanren was eager for stronger strength. Going out of the Jiama Empire and going outside might be a shortcut to becoming stronger. In one day, the leader and the young leader of Yunlan sect were about to leave the sect one after another. Suddenly, everyone in Yunlan sect was reluctant to leave. "Is he leaving?" Gu He peeked at Yun from a distance. He wanted to say something to Yun, but he knew that he was no longer qualified. At this time, seeing Yun Shan and the elders of Yunlan sect wake up, Jia Xingshan and Hai Bodong showed a touch of disappointment on their faces. "If this old guy doesn't die, it will be a rare peace in the Jiama Empire." Jia Xingshan frowned slightly. "Senior Guf's help is already helpful to the Gamma Empire. If this crazy Yun Shan is allowed to do whatever he wants, the Gamma Empire will probably fall into a disaster." Hai Bodong's gaze was longer than Jia Xingshan's. He sighed and said, "But don't worry too much. Although Yun Shan is alive, the sect is now disunited. The sect master and the young sect master have left directly, and the Yunlan sect dare not take action against the Gamma royal family again." In the crowd, Nilan looked at Guf, who had saved his life, in the sky, and felt very emotional. At the same time, his eyes also fell on Nilan Yanren beside Yun. If Nilan Yanren could get along with this senior, after making a decision with Yunlan sect, Yun looked at Guf not far away. When she saw Guf, her originally sharp and resolute eyes suddenly softened, and her body unconsciously relaxed a little. Guf could feel that Yun's mood at this moment was completely different from before. She was even a little relaxed and happy now. "Guf, you're not going to say you want to be my slave again?" Yun approached Guf, but before she could speak, Guf spoke first. Yun smiled awkwardly. This was indeed the promise she had just made to Guf, and she was ready to be a slave. "Let me make it clear first, I don't lack maids, I just lack friends." Guf's words made the atmosphere much lighter, because the heavy atmosphere of the Yunlan sex change was suddenly cleared. "Since you don't lack maids, I'm going to go around the world. Before I leave, I want to know, if I miss you in the future, where should I go to find you?" Yun smiled and said. At this moment, she, who had successfully stepped down as the leader of the Yunlan sect, no longer needed to care about the eyes of the world. She could do what she wanted to do, and she didn't need to consider the interests of the sect. As long as she wanted to do it, she could do it freely. Looking at Yun's bright eyes, Guf said very seriously, "Eastern region, ancient realm." Yun made such a decision, and he was very happy. At least in the future, she would no longer be dragged down by Yunlan sect and could live for herself. "Okay, I remember. We'll meet again in the future." Yun smiled sweetly, as if all the spring breeze of the entire Yunlan sect was on her face. Seeing Yun's sweet smile, Gu He lowered his head and took Liu Ling's hand and turned away, gradually disappearing in a corner where no one paid attention. The Yunlan sect has lost a good leader. Jia Xingshan and Yun knew each other and knew her character, so now he couldn't help but feel a little regretful. "I heard that this senior went to your GMR royal family before. Does your royal family have any ill intentions?" The threat of Yunlan sect was lifted, and Hai Bodong looked at Jia Xingshan and said meaningfully. Jia Xingshan smiled mysteriously and did not give any explanation. This made Hai Bodong very anxious. He secretly decided in his heart that he had to investigate the relationship between Guf and the GMR royal family. After this matter was settled, Guf looked at Kair beside him. "Go back, take a night's rest, and we will set off for the snake tribe tomorrow." Kair had just witnessed everything. However, she stood behind Guf without saying a word. She knew the relationship between Yun and Guf very well, and she would not make Guf feel embarrassed.
Let's go. Kair smiled slightly. Next, Gu Fei and his party left Yunlin sect, and Queen Medusa was a little excited. After returning to the snake tribe, they would start preparing for the migration of the whole tribe. Now, she was finally about to fulfill her wish for many years. In Yunlin sect, everyone dispersed, and Xiao Yan was always hiding in the crowd without showing his head. He had some guesses in his heart about his father's disappearance, and the entire Yunlin sect was polluted by those so-called soul palaces. If this matter was not done by Yunlin sect, then it could only be Soul Palace. But why did Soul Palace do this? Xiao Yan didn't know. There were some things that he had to continue investigating. After today, all forces will know that Yunlin sect will be more restrained in its actions in the Jiama Empire in the future. At least, if Yun Chan wants to strengthen the Yunlin sect, he can only choose to point his gun outward. Chapter 141 This is my husband. From now on, seeing her is like seeing me. The next morning, Gu Fei, Queen Medusa, King Lin and his party said goodbye to Jia Xingshan, Yao Yi and several others, and rode the Lion King to the desert. In less than a day, the Lion King had already flown deep into the desert. During this period, King Lin went to Shimo City once, but she did not find Zhao Ding and Zhao Li. After learning that they had disbanded the mercenary group, King Lin did not stay. After returning to Shimo City again, some mercenaries recognized that the top strong man flying in the sky was King Lin, who once had human snake blood. Their eyes were complicated. There was fear, envy, and natural admiration for the strong. In short, no one dared to show disgust to King Lin. King Lin finally understood a truth. In this world, weakness is the original sin. Only when you become strong, others will not care about your original identity. King Lin also understood that it was Gu Fei who changed her and gave her the opportunity to change her fate. Finally here, soon, the purple crystal-winged Lion King entered the area where the snake people lived. As the Lion King flew closer to the snake people's holy city, 4 snake people's old women who were sitting cross-legged in a bamboo house deep in the bamboo forest inside the snake people's holy city opened their eyes at the same time. I seem to sense the breath of the queen. Is the queen back? After sensing the extremely familiar breath approaching the Medusa temple, the 4 snake people's old women stood up at the same time and then quickly left the bamboo house. When the 4 elders of the snake people rushed to the sky outside the Medusa temple, a small black dot appeared in their sight. 7th level magic beast. Why is the 7th level magic beast suddenly coming to our snake people's holy city? The strong magic beast breath of the Lion King made the 4 elders of the snake people feel a little alert. As the black dot kept getting closer, the figure of Queen Medusa gradually appeared in their eyes on the back of the Lion King, and the trace of vigilance dissipated. It's really Her Majesty the Queen. Her Majesty the Queen is back. After seeing Queen Medusa on the back of the Lion King, the 4 elders of the snake tribe were all excited. However, when the 4 of them saw Gu Fei standing next to Queen Medusa, they suddenly showed a hint of surprise in their eyes, because they found that Gu Fei's arm was naturally wrapped around their queen's waist, and the 2 bodies were very close, looking very intimate. My people, the king is back. When they came to the Medusa temple, Queen Medusa shouted to the countless snake people on the wall, and stretched out her jade hands gently in front of her, flawless. At this moment, she was like a work of art, beautiful enough to make people tremble. At this moment, Queen Medusa's arrogance seemed to have returned, and her whole body was filled with a noble aura. Welcome to Her Majesty the Queen. Welcome to Her Majesty the Queen. With the appearance of Queen Medusa, Xun'er and many other snake guards on the tower of the snake tribe's holy city bowed respectfully to her. With excitement on their faces, everyone, get up. Kair raised her jade hand lightly, and her faint majestic voice resounded throughout the world. Her Majesty the Queen has transformed, which means that her cultivation has broken through to Zong. Now, our snake tribe really has hope. Great. It's really God's eyes that Her Majesty has become a Zong strongman. Feeling the huge cultivation aura emanating from Queen Medusa, the 4 elders of the snake tribe became excited again. The snake people in the entire snake tribe holy city were all in a frenzy of cheers. Ever since the snake people were driven into the scorching Tiger Desert, the snake people have been thinking about getting out of the Tiger Desert all the time. Now, this wish is finally about to be fulfilled. All of them believe that under the leadership of Queen Medusa, it won't be long before the entire snake tribe can walk out of this damn desert. On the back of the amethyst-winged Lion King, Queen Medusa looked at the cheering tribesmen, and couldn't help but reveal a smile on her beautiful face. Everyone, today, I have a very important announcement to make. He, Gu Fei, is now my husband. From now on, all the tribesmen will see him as if they are seeing me. Next, Queen Medusa directly announced the close relationship between her and Gu Fei in front of all the tribesmen. Husband, you don't mind me being so high profile, do you? After saying that, Xun'er looked at Gu Fei with her beautiful eyes, and her slender hands like white jade gently stroked Gu Fei's face. When her red lips slightly opened, she made a slightly soft and numb sound. How could that be? This is good, so as not to cause any misunderstandings. Hearing this, Gu Fei nodded slightly, with a faint smile on his face. When Xun'er announced that Gu Fei was her husband, many male snake people in the holy city of the snake people cast envious and even jealous eyes at Gu Fei. After all, Queen Medusa is almost a goddess that cannot be desecrated in the hearts of many people in the snake people. The four elders of the snake people all have a deep impression of Gu Fei, because a few years ago, they had fought with Gu Fei, and the four of them joined forces at that time, but were all defeated by Gu Fei. Unexpectedly, a few years later, the queen who had disappeared for a long time returned, and Gu Fei actually transformed himself into their queen's husband. Everyone, Xun'er and I came back this time to take you to migrate out of the desert and find another treasure land in the world of Warcraft Mountains to reproduce. Just when the four elders of the snake people were stunned, Gu Fei stood up very high profile. A person like him is naturally not a reserved and shy person. Such occasions are not worth mentioning compared to when he was training in the Black Annihilation Army. While speaking, Gu Fei also revealed his huge aura of cultivation, and a faint pressure immediately enveloped everyone. This man is so strong. Even the queen doesn't have such a strong pressure. He is worthy of being the man who can become the queen's husband. With such cultivation, I don't even have the idea of resisting. He just said that he wants us to migrate out of the desert and find another treasure land. Great. If this is true, we, the snake people, will no longer have to endure this extremely hot desert climate. As Gu Fei finished speaking, the snakemen in the holy city were all boiling. Obviously, because of these words and the aura of cultivation that Gu Fei showed, the snakemen have already recognized him as the queen's husband. The snakemen are cold-blooded, and it is extremely difficult to survive in this scorching Tiger desert. Being able to leave this coast place is the most important thing for every snakeman. Therefore, under such important matters, no one cares about the conflicts that Gu Fei had with the snakemen before. Chapter 142, The Snake People Migrate and the Countries Invade. My husband, I will arrange all matters concerning the migration of the tribe as soon as possible. In the sky, Xun'er spoke very gently to Gu Fei beside her. Then, she looked at Xun'er on the tower, and her voice became cold and with the majesty of a queen. Xun'er, you must immediately pass my order to the leaders of each tribe and ask them to organize the relocation of the tribesmen. Remember, the speed must be fast. Yes, sir. Hearing the order issued by Queen Medusa, Xun'er immediately bent down excitedly and replied very respectfully. Then, the snake people in the entire Medusa holy city began to get busy. One after another, orders were continuously sent out to gather all the snake people tribes scattered in the Tiger desert. Gu Fei and King Lin were taken to Queen Medusa's palace to rest. What? The queen is pregnant. This is a great event. Moreover, the queen used the 8th grade elixir to nourish the fetus. In the future, she will definitely add another top talent to our snake people. After talking with Queen Medusa, the four elders were delighted to learn that she was pregnant. Moreover, after they learned that Gu Fei could actually provide the 8th grade elixir, they looked at Gu Fei with more respect. With the help of such a powerful alchemist, perhaps the four of them, who are dying, will also have the hope of breaking through to Zhong in this life. After Queen Medusa returned to the snake people, the entire snake people were in a high-speed operation state. In just a few days, the holy city of the snake people and the other 8 tribes had already reorganized all the personnel and materials. Next, it was the real migration. On this day, Gu Fei brought Queen Medusa and King Lin to the back of the Lion King and traveled with a large number of snake people in the holy city. For this migration, Queen Medusa drew a fixed road. Other tribes that were far from the holy city were waiting on the main migration route under the leadership of their tribal leaders. Eventually, all the snakemen would gather together and walk out of the desert, begin the migration. Soon, the majestic voice of Queen Medusa sounded in the sky. Below, the black mass of snakemen began to move forward in an orderly manner. In the center of this huge team, most of them were strong snakemen pulling baggage and carrying the elderly, weak, women and children. Around the team, there were patrols and protection by snakemen with good cultivation to prevent the poisonous insects and monsters hidden in the desert from attacking the team. The leaders of each tribe flew to the sky above their own tribes to patrol and guard back and forth. Although the migration route was long and the baggage was heavy, most of the snakemen were practitioners, and their physiques were generally stronger than humans. Pulling baggage for a long journey would not exhaust the body. However, once a large-scale natural disaster like a sandstorm occurs, even some Duang and Huang realm masters will feel helpless. If a sandstorm is encountered and evacuation is not timely, people and supplies will be completely buried in the sand. On the 10th day of the migration, a sandstorm hit the middle of the Snake People's migration team. This big sandstorm came suddenly. Even with the Snake People's tribe's shelter warning, it was too late to evacuate all of them. Once the storm came, perhaps nearly 10% of the people would be buried here. Disperse. When the yellow sand mixed with the strong wind swept in, Goof just waved his sleeves lightly, and the sandstorm was completely annihilated. After seeing Goof solve the sandstorm, countless snake people were grateful to him. Soon, a month later, the front of the Snake People's migration team had already arrived at the edge of the desert, where the lush green of the Warcraft Mountains could already be seen. However, blocking the Green Mountain is an extremely large fortress and tall walls that stretch for miles around. Whether it is a detour or a direct attack on the fortress, it means that the Snake People have officially declared war on humans, and the surrounding human empires may once again launch a siege against the Snake People. What should we do? Snake Humai looked back at Queen Medusa, wanting to know how the queen would arrange it. At this moment, an old man slowly rose into the sky above the fortress, and his earth-yellow fighting wings looked very dazzling. Mr. Goof, I have been waiting for a long time. The man who came was Jia Xingshan, who politely bowed and smiled in the direction of Goof. The Snake People want to use this route to migrate into the Warcraft Mountains. You, open the city gate and let them pass. After saying that, Jia Xingshan directly ordered the fortress garrison to open the city gate. Open the city gate. Why should we give way to the Snake People? What if the Snake People do not enter the Magic Beast Mountain range after they pass through, but turn around to attack our empire? Yes, by that time, won't the people behind the fortress be exposed to the blades of the Snake People? Hearing Jia Xingshan's order, many defenders were resistant. They had more or less hatred with the Snake People, and they were hostile to them. They didn't believe that the Snake People were just borrowing the road. Commander Li, why are you still standing there? Follow the order. Hearing the discussions and doubts of the crowd, Jia Xingshan's face sank, and his eyes turned to the commander of the fortress, and a strong momentum emanated. Under the pressure of this momentum, the surrounding soldiers immediately quieted down. Yes, sir. Forced to do so, the commander of the fortress with fighting spirit cultivation had to accept the order reluctantly and arranged for people to open the city gate. Humans actually opened the city gate to let us pass. What's going on? Seeing this scene, the people of the Snake People once again cast respectful eyes towards Goof. They didn't expect that the husband the queen had found would have such power that he could directly let the human empire army take the initiative to borrow the road and let them pass. All tribesmen, listen to the order, continue to move forward, and do not attack the fortress garrison, Queen Medusa ordered in time. Soon, under the gaze of countless frontier soldiers of the Gamma Empire, the mighty snake army passed through the city gate and entered the Monster Mountain range. What? The Snake People migrated from the border of the Gamma Empire to the Monster Mountain range, and the Gamma Empire's army did not stop them. What the hell is that old guy Jia Xingshan doing? Luoyan Empire, giant insect. A middle-aged man in a golden robe looked at the letter in his hand and looked extremely angry. The Snake People and the surrounding empires are mortal enemies. They can't sit idly by and watch the snake people grow and develop. Before, the snake people hid in the desert, so they didn't kill them all. Now that the snake people have left the desert, he thinks it will definitely become a hidden danger in the future. Quickly contact the Milan Empire and the Xiao Yan Empire, and let them send troops to strangle the snake people. Soon, a serious voice sounded from the golden-clothed man. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143 Yun Chan. If you want to destroy the snake people, you must first pass the level of my Yunlin sect. The eastern monster mountain range. After the snake people migrated here, they were still very busy, using local materials to build houses. In such a busy life, although each of them was very tired, their faces were filled with joy and they looked forward to a better life in the future. The living conditions in the monster mountain range are countless times better than those in the Tiger Desert. This is the place suitable for their snake people to live. Seeing that the snake people are about to get on the right track, Gu Fei did not stay here completely, because this place is not far from the valley where Xiao Yan and the others are. At Gu Fei's speed, he can arrive in half an hour. Anyway, there is nothing to do here. After leaving a space jade slip, he opened up a space channel and returned directly to the small valley to accompany Xiao Yan and Xiao Yan. The Lion King stayed in the snake people to help deter the monsters in the monster mountain range. Half a month later, a large group of uninvited guests came from outside the border of the Gamma Empire, led by the Jinan Empire and the Milan Empire. There are more than a dozen other small countries that led their armies to the border of Gamma. At this moment, outside the border, on that huge plain, there are 13 legions of all sizes stationed here. The black mass of heads, roughly estimated, the number of people is at least more than 300,000. The leader is the leader of the Golden Goose sect, Luo Yanshan, a 3-starred Zong strongman. Jia Xingshan had received news about the Golden Goose Empire's restless moves a few days ago, but he thought that Yan Luoshan alone could not cause any waves. But he did not expect that Yan Luoshan would unite more than a dozen surrounding countries to press towards the border of the Jiama Empire so quickly. Such a large number of people, even Jia Xingshan had to treat it with caution. So Jia Xingshan went to the border in person, and here he saw Yan Luoshan. Yan Luoshan, didn't I say in the letter that the snake people have promised not to attack my human empire in the future? And why are you bringing people to my Jiama border? Jia Xingshan appeared in the sky outside the fortress and said angrily, Jia Xingshan, I think you are getting more and more confused as you get older. Have you forgotten why we wanted the snake people to rush to the desert? The snake people didn't develop much in the barren desert, so we didn't worry about anything. But now, we have arrived at the Warcraft Mountains, which are rich in resources and most suitable for the development of the snake people. If the snake people grow stronger, the first to bear the brunt will be the Gamma Empire. Hurry up and make way, otherwise we don't mind flattening your Gamma Empire. That's right, I heard that the queen of the snake people, Medusa, has broken through to the Zong level. If she continues to develop like this, one day she will pose a threat to several human empires around us. Jia Xingshan, you are raising a tiger to harm yourself. Many powerful empires appeared and scolded Jia Xingshan together. The overwhelming voice covered Jia Xingshan. Among them, the 3 elders of Milan were not weaker than Jia Xingshan, and Yan Luoshan was a 3-starred Zong strongman, whose strength was far superior to him. With so many strong men exerting pressure together, Jia Xingshan could not bear it alone no matter how unwilling he was. He turned around and glanced at the soldiers inside the pass. The soldiers looked at the army outside the city with solemn eyes. There was no fear in their resolute eyes. They were all willing to fight for the empire. Old Jia, if you want to fight, then fight. We are Gamma, we are not afraid of them. Muzan expressed the soldiers' intentions. Now it's not a question of fear or not. With more than a dozen empires joining forces, our Gamma Empire is definitely not an opponent. If we resist, we can only watch the soldiers sacrifice in vain. Let's make way. Jia Zingshan was also very helpless in his heart. He clenched his fists tightly. As the ruler of the Gama royal family, how could he be willing to be humiliated like this? It was just that he was not strong enough and could do nothing after all. Make way. Muzan announced Jia Zingshan's order, and Yan Luoshan and others showed a smug smile on their faces. Wait. At this moment, another untimely voice sounded. Jia Zingshan heard this somewhat familiar voice and was about to turn around when a figure appeared in front of him. This person turned out to be Yun Shan. This time, Yun Shan led many elders of Yunlin sect to appear at the border fortress. Jia Zingshan, you are the head of the Jiame royal family. You just opened the gate and let the foreign enemies invade. Isn't it too spineless? Yun Shan looked at Jia Zingshan indifferently. His words made Jia Zingshan feel ashamed. Seeing that Jia Zingshan didn't say anything, Yun Shan didn't embarrass him anymore, but turned around and looked at Yan Luoshan in front of him. I thought it was someone else. It turned out to be Yun Shan. Yan Luoshan looked at Yun Shan with a gloomy look. The Jiama Empire has a Zong, plus a group of elders of the Yunlin sect. This fighting power is enough for Yan Luoshan to take seriously. Stop talking nonsense, and quickly take your shitty coalition away from the border of the Jiama Empire. Yun Shan shouted angrily. HMPH, our original intention of coming here this time is not the Gama Empire, but the Snake people. As long as the Gama Empire is willing to make way for our army to enter the Monster Mountain range directly, we will naturally not embarrass the Gama Empire. Yan Luoshan did not want to get entangled with the Yunlin sect, which had Zong strongmen. Yun Shan smiled contemptuously when he heard this, and his body remained motionless. The Snake people were ordered by Master Goof to migrate to the Monster Mountain range to reproduce. Master Goof has been very kind to my Yunlin sect. Now that you want to attack the Snake people, I naturally cannot sit idly by. If you want to enter the pass, you must first pass my Yunlin sect. Yun Shan resolutely came this time, with many considerations. So many imperial armies were nominally just passing through the Monster Mountain range, but it was unknown what they would actually do. If several major empires took the opportunity to launch an attack on the Gama Empire, it would cause a huge impact on the Gama Empire, and the Yunlin sect, as the first sect of the Gama Empire, would inevitably be affected. After what happened to Yunlin sect, some elders and disciples have become somewhat disunited. If there is another big shock, it is likely to collapse. And this time, he helped Jia Zingshan and Goof, firstly to consolidate the status of Yunlin sect and win people's hearts. Secondly, because of Goof's previous kindness, Yun Shan, who has regained his sanity, is not completely bloodthirsty, but still has some humanity. The third reason is a gamble of Yun Shan. He firmly believes that Goof will never sit idly by when he learns that more than a dozen empires are threatening the Snake people. With Goof's strength, these people in front of him are just jumping clowns. Before Goof arrived, Yun Shan stepped forward to resist the coalition forces of more than a dozen empires for the Snake people. This is a great opportunity to win the favor of a big man like Goof. Goof, is it that young man? You people in the Jiama Empire are really strange. I heard that Jia Zingshan treated him with great courtesy. Now you, Yun Shan, the ancestor of a sect, call him a young master. Obviously, although Yan Luoshan has heard some rumors, he doesn't believe them. Yun Shan, I think you were scared silly by the Terry boy called Goof. Chapter 144. It's good that everyone is here. It saves trouble. Goof is now a celebrity in the Jiama Empire. His deeds were spread everywhere by vagrants in the streets and alleys, and the empires adjacent to the Jiama Empire had certainly heard of it. However, Yan Luoshan obviously did not believe in such a person who was gradually deified in the rumors, and just thought it was an exaggerated rumor by the people of the Jiama Empire. He killed the bullshit Eagle Guardian in one blow. The strength of the Eagle Guardian was exaggerated, but in fact it was just a soul. It is common sense that the strength of the soul will be greatly reduced after leaving the body. What's so great about destroying a mere soul? Yan Luoshan felt that these people in the Jiama Empire didn't even know how to write a story, and they were all clumsy loopholes. What's more, he gathered the power of more than a dozen empires to come to conquer. Even if Goof was so powerful, could he still resist the power of more than a dozen empires now? I didn't expect Yun Shan to come.
Jia Zingshan was a little surprised when he saw Yun Shan come out. Yun Shan seemed to have changed compared to the previous few days. Jia Zingshan, assemble the Imperial Army and prepare to resist. Yun Shan glanced at Jia Zingshan, and Jia Zingshan's mind condensed, with a helpless look on his face. He was going to let them go just now because he didn't want to make a meaningless sacrifice. Now that Yun Shan has come forward to stop the other side, he has to take action, otherwise, the reputation of the Jiama royal family will be completely trampled under the feet of the Yunlin sect. Prepare for defense, Jia Zingshan ordered, and Muzan, who was a little depressed because of giving way before, suddenly became very motivated. The men of his new family are all warlike, and he believes that dying on the battlefield is better than handing over his country to others in a cowardly way. All troops assemble, swear to fight the enemy to the death. Muzan roared loudly. The Imperial Army, which had a firm gaze, became more confident after seeing the arrival of the Yunlin sect's strong men. With bursts of shouting, the momentum that burst out was also very strong, not much less than that of the Imperial coalition. Originally, Jia Zingshan was going to open the gate and let them go, but suddenly Yun Shan came out and added many obstacles, which made Yan Luoshan very unhappy. Yun Shan, let's see how much you have improved over the years. Yan Luoshan rushed directly to Yun Shan and fought with him. There was only one Zong in the Jiama Empire, Yun Shan, so Yun Shan had no choice but to rush forward. The golden wings behind Yan Luoshan flapped, and the whole person shot towards Yun Shan like a golden stream of light. The speed was so fast that Yun Shan was shocked and could only resist hastily. No improvement. Yan Luoshan punched Yun Shan in the chest. Yun Shan barely blocked it but was shocked and his blood was boiling. Yan Luoshan's eyes were as sharp as an eagle's. A ball of golden light was pinched in the palm of his hand. The golden light flickered and changed, and finally turned into a dazzling golden sword. The sharp aura released by the golden sword made Yun Shan feel that his chi was constantly cut. Since you want to stand up for the snake people, then destroy the snake people first, Yan Luoshan said, and the golden light on his body suddenly trembled, becoming more and more brilliant. The golden sword in his hand merged with the golden light on his body, and then the golden light split and turned into golden feathers, which shot towards Yun Shan. Yun Shan did not dare to face such a fierce attack, so he had to take off and wait for an opportunity to dodge, but Yun Shan could not completely dodge the golden feathers that were like a net. In just a few breaths, he appeared in the distance in a mess, with the residual light of the golden feathers still on his body. Oops! Jia Zingshan saw Yun Shan being crushed and wanted to go up to help. If Yun Shan was defeated, their army would be destroyed in an instant. But Jia Zingshan had just set off when the figures of three old men appeared in front of him. You, Adhuang, should not participate in the Battle of Zong. Let the three of us come to meet you. Jia Zingshan's eyes condensed after seeing the three people in front of him clearly. They were the three elders of Merlan Empire. The three of them joined forces and could exert the combat power of a low-leveled Zong, while Jia Zingshan was only Adhuang and could not stop the three of them. Stop talking nonsense, take him down, and let us divide the Jiama Empire. After one of the three elders of Merlan finished speaking, his blood and energy surged all over his body, and his beastly nature became stronger. Then his body began to change, and his head turned into the shape of a tiger. The others turned into the shapes of a lion and a bear respectively. Is this the three beasts' wild art? Jia Zingshan looked solemn and took a deep breath. He must be careful against the enemy today, otherwise today would be the day he would die. Kill! The three elders of Merlan shouted at the same time and attacked Jia Zingshan. The terrifying Qi rushed towards Jia Zingshan. The attacks of the three people had almost no blind spots. Jia Zingshan had no way to avoid it and could only fight hard. Fortunately, he was an earth-type Qi, so he would not be killed instantly when they met. But Yun Shan and he were both at a disadvantage. If this continued, they would inevitably be destroyed. Just when the two were in danger and were about to be killed, a loud voice suddenly resounded throughout the battlefield. So many people have come, it seems that more than a dozen empires around have arrived. That's a lot of trouble. Upon hearing this, Yan Luoshan forced Yun Shan back with a sword. He stepped back a few steps and looked at the place where the voice came from. He felt a terrifying aura there,
May I ask which senior is this? This is a dispute between us, the Snake People and the Gamma Empire. Please don't interfere. Yan Luotian said in a submissive tone. You bullied my wife, and you still asked me not to interfere? A gust of wind blew, and a huge monster carried two people on the stage. The visitors were Gu Fei and the purple crystal-winged Lion King. Yan Luotian didn't know Gu Fei, but he knew Queen Medusa. Yuan and Jia Xingchen were surprised to see Gu Fei coming, and they all approached and said, Mr. Gu Fei, you are finally here. Mr. Gu Fei, he is Gu Fei. Yan Luotian and the three elders of Milan were extremely shocked when they heard this. The powerful senior they mentioned turned out to be Gu Fei. The rumor they looked down on was actually so powerful. Yan Luotian was also very sensible. The purple crystal-winged Lion King under Gu Fei was far from being his opponent, not to mention Gu Fei himself. Senior, I am blind and didn't recognize you. I didn't even know you were young Master Gu Fei. If we knew the relationship between young Master Gu Fei and the Snake People, we would never dare to attack. Yan Luotian saw how intimate Gu Fei and Medusa were, and immediately guessed the relationship between the two. The wife Gu Fei mentioned was Medusa. Regret? But it's too late. Gu Fei was too lazy to talk nonsense with Yan Luotian, and he reached out a hand to grab Yan Luotian. Yan Luotian felt the terrifying pressure, and he flapped his golden wings to escape quickly, but before he could move, he felt that he was being held in his hand. Then the huge force came, and he was directly crushed by Gu Fei, and then the strange fire appeared and burned him into nothingness. Seeing this, the three elders of Milan were speechless. It was their instinct to run away, but in front of Gu Fei, they had no chance of survival. Chapter 145 Xun'er, I will only go into seclusion once, and his child is already over 1 year old? The three fled separately, and Gu Fei still crushed them one by one, and then evaporated into nothingness. Gu Fei made a strong appearance and crushed Yan Luotian and Milan Sanlao to death with thunderous means. Everyone present was stunned. The Imperial Coalition did not dare to move at all, for fear that Gu Fei would wave his hand and all of them would turn into nothingness. Warning to all the empires, the Snake People are protected by me, Gu Fei, and Queen Medusa is my wife. If you dare to plot against the Snake People again in the future, you will be killed without mercy. Get lost, Gu Fei said, and no one dared to make a sound. All obeyed Gu Fei's words and scattered like birds and beasts. After dealing with these things, Gu Fei looked at Yuan and Jia Xingchen on the side. Yuan, you are really courageous. Although these two people had some scheming in their hearts, they did the right thing after all. You two have made great contributions in protecting the Snake People. These are rewards for you. Gu Fei threw a Pozong Dan to Jia Xingchen and a King Yang Dan to Yuan. Yuan's hand holding the King Yang Dan was shaking with excitement. He knew that he had made the right bet this time. The King Yang Dan could directly improve his cultivation by 1 star. After watching for so long, why not stay? When Jia Xingchen and Yuan were excited, Gu Fei's voice changed. Then he grabbed out with one hand again, and a black mist hidden outside the battlefield was pulled out by him. This person was the Iron Guardian. He was similar to the Eagle Guardian. He went to the Izumo Empire to support the 10,000 Scorpion sect and prepared to start a war. This time, he heard this news and wanted to come and harvest the dead souls on the battlefield. You Soul Palace, you are really like rats, digging holes everywhere. You can see it everywhere. Gu Fei was very annoyed with the Soul Palace. Senior, spare my life, the Iron Guardian begged, but was still caught by Gu Fei, still a soul body. What kind of power is this Soul Palace? Why are all of the strong men inside it in the form of souls? Jia Xingchen and Yuan were puzzled when they saw that the Iron Guardian was similar to the Eagle Guardian. If the senior is willing to let me go, bang! Gu Fei didn't give him the chance to talk nonsense, and directly crushed him to death, turning him into nothingness. With my shocking move, the several empires will definitely not dare to have any other intentions. The rest is up to you. After shocking and scaring off the coalition forces of the several empires, Gu Fei gave his instructions and went straight back to the new territory of the Snake People. Although the Snake People have not migrated here for long, this new habitat has already taken shape. Some flat areas often have a large number of houses for the snake people to live in. They are connected together to form places similar to human villages. On the outskirts of the snake people's territory, due to the rugged terrain, there are no walls or anything like that surrounding it for the time being. There was only a sentry tower set up at intervals. In addition, there was a group of warning birds raised by the snake people in the outer sky. Whenever there was any movement, they would alert the snake people. In the center of this area, there was a rather large basin, sandwiched between two tall mountains. The basin was very large. In less than 10 days, a huge city had already risen in the basin. This was the new holy city of the snake people. Now Yixian, Yan and her group also came here. They all stayed in the palace. The snake people's ability to act is really strong. It has taken shape in a short time. Now Yixian was very surprised when she came to this city that rose from the ground in the Warcraft Mountains. She looked at the unique body shape of the snake people and felt their strong construction ability. How could a person with a snake tail be faster than a person with 2 legs? Now that the snake people have settled down, you have nothing to worry about, Sister Kair. Yan walked around the city and came to Kair. Well, this time it's all thanks to my husband who persuaded the Imperial Coalition to retreat. Otherwise, how could the tribe live and reproduce so peacefully? Kair couldn't help but raise a charming arc at the corners of her rosy lips. The joy from the heart could not be concealed at all. If the Jiama Empire was in awe of Gu's strength and willing to cooperate and make way, the snake people would not be able to arrive here smoothly. If Gu hadn't taken a strong move to kill Yan Luotian and the 3 elders of Milan, the snake people would have suffered a devastating disaster once the war reached here. You are my wife? Of course I have to protect you. Kair blushed, and Gu suddenly appeared behind her and hugged her slender waist in his arms. Seeing Gu and Kair flirting with each other, Yan rolled her eyes at Gu and said, "Brother Gu is so annoying. He always does things that are not suitable for children." After that, Yan deliberately stomped her feet hard. She originally wanted to pretend to be angry, but her strength was too strong and she directly cracked the floor tiles that had just been laid in the holy city. Yan secretly turned her head to see if Gu and Kair had noticed the flirting, but she saw that they were looking straight at her. Yan had to smile awkwardly. "Sorry, I forgive you." Kair was amused by Yan's cute appearance, touched her little head, and said, "It's okay, I'll ask someone to lay a new floor, but you have to be more careful in the future. After all, this is the holy city of my snake people. It can't be full of holes." "I know, Sister Kair, I'll be careful." Yan, who had done something wrong, ran away, looking particularly cute. After Yan left, Gu looked at Kair again, and Kair also looked at Gu. The two looked at each other with affection. Kair's fair cheeks were a little rosy, and her crystal eyes flashed. Gu felt dizzy and his consciousness began to blur. He slowly lowered his head and kissed Kair's red lips. The two were gentle and lingering. In this new holy city, passion was overflowing. After a long time, the two reluctantly separated. Kair licked her lips and savored the taste just now. "Where are Yixian and Yan?" They were arranged in the inner hall. The environment there is the most comfortable, and there are strong snake people protecting them. It is also the strongest and safest place, Kair explained. "Let's go and see them." In the ancient world, in a hall, a girl was suspended in the middle, surrounded by golden energy, which was slowly dissipating at this moment. The girl was none other than Xun'er. As the golden light dissipated, Xun'er exhaled a breath of turbid air and opened her bright eyes. This retreat lasted a year and a half, and her cultivation had greatly improved, and she had already entered the Zong realm. At this moment, she was confident again. However, Xun'er was bored after a year of retreat, so she wandered around the ancient world after coming out of retreat, relaxing and finding out some news. "What? I only retreated once, and his child is already 1 year old?" Soon, Xun'er learned the news from the tribe, and her face was complicated. Chapter 146. Yan, didn't you promise to give me an opportunity? Yuan City, Da family. Yan lay on the table with his head down, his fingers constantly tapping on the table, each time harder and harder. If it weren't for Yao Lao beside him, he would have lost his temper and vented all his anger on the table. "Teacher, It's been several months and there's no clue. Has my father really disappeared? Yan suspected that Xiao was taken away by Yunlin sect, but he had been lurking in Yunlin sect for a long time, but there was no news about Xiao, which made him very discouraged. He was angry at the person who kidnapped Xiao, and also resentful of his own incompetence. Yanzi, since the other party kidnapped your father, they must want to get something from your father. Your father should be safe for a short time. Yao Lao comforted Xiao Yan. The most urgent thing is to make yourself strong first. Only when you are strong can you investigate more things. Yan nodded in agreement. For example, the black soul body that appeared in Yunlin sect, Yao Lao said that they came from the mysterious soul palace. At Yan's current level, he is not even qualified to know what the soul palace is. He clenched his fists, eager to become stronger. Let's go to Xun'er Pavilion first. When the teacher recovers his strength, he will find out the truth for you. In the Warcraft Mountains, the new holy city of the snake people. In the new holy city, there are now lights and decorations, and every household has a smile on their faces, praying with the ancient rituals of the snake people. They are not praying for the rebirth of the snake people's holy city, but for the rebirth of Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan ushered in her first birthday today. This news was originally known only among Gu Fei and others, but I don't know who leaked it. So, all the snake people of the snake people spontaneously celebrated Xiao Yan's birthday. Xun'er stood on the top of the holy city and looked down at the snake people below. With a sweet and satisfied smile on her face, she said in an excited tone, "Your prestige in the snake people is almost higher than mine." Gu Fei smiled slightly, looking at the cheering snake people, thinking that it feels good to be worshipped by thousands of people. "Daddy, what are you doing?" Suddenly, a childish voice sounded beside Gu Fei. It was Xiao who came over with Xiao Yan in her arms. The little girl finally learned to speak, although she could only speak simple words. Her childish voice was as lovable as an angel. "Xiao Yan, hold me." Gu Fei reached out and held Xiao Yan in his arms, taking her to watch the jubilant snake people under him. Xiao Yan didn't understand what they were doing, but she also jumped along. The new holy city represents not only the rebirth of the holy city, but also the rebirth of the entire snake people. They will move towards a stronger and more prosperous path here. The carnival lasted for a long time before it gradually subsided. The snake people adapted to the new environment and gradually returned to a peaceful life. One day, Yan was playing with Xiao Yan. Suddenly, she thought of something, jumped up suddenly, and ran directly towards Gu Fei. Gu Fei was startled when he saw Yan rushing towards him like a meteor. If he had no defense, it would not be good to be hit by this girl. "Brother Gu Fei, have you forgotten something?" "What is it?" Gu Fei asked doubtfully. "Didn't you say before that you would give me a great opportunity?" "I can't default on my promise when I'm in the Dan realm." Yan remembered Gu Fei's promise before entering the Dan realm. Looking at Yan with a serious face, Gu Fei knew what was in Yan's mind. Although Yan seemed to be laughing and joking every day, as if nothing had happened, she was actually hiding something in her heart. She had already returned to Ancient Dragon Island and accepted the inheritance. She was very familiar with the current situation of the Taixu Ancient Dragon clan. She was the only royal bloodline of the Taixu Ancient Dragon clan. In the future, Yan must become the new Dragon Emperor of the Ancient Dragon clan. No matter how much Yan yearned for freedom, she would unconsciously think about her own race in her heart. She wanted to become stronger, to unify the Dragon clan as soon as possible, to stop the Taixu Ancient Dragon clan from splitting up, and to let all the people on her Ancient Dragon Island live a peaceful and stable life. Gu Fei did promise Yan to give her an opportunity, but that opportunity still had many uncertainties. That opportunity has not yet appeared, and I don't know if I can find it. Gu Fei pondered. The opportunity he was talking about was the ancient ruins left by the ancient strongman, the saint of creation. Ancient ruins, as the name suggests, are naturally those things that have been passed down from ancient times. Ancient times are completely different from the present. In those countless years, there will naturally be many relics left. Some relics may be buried or disappeared over the years, but some will see the light of day again by chance. In fact, the seal of the former owner of the ruins has weakened after years of erosion, causing the sealed space to reveal the continent. You will definitely not find it if you wait here. Let's go and try. Maybe it will appear. Seeing Goof admit that the opportunity exists, Xian was very happy, and immediately, she wanted to pull Goof to find it. Goof nodded and agreed. His current strength may be able to make the ruins appear in advance. If it really doesn't work, he will have to ask the elders of the clan to help. Anyway, I know the approximate location of the ruins, so I'll find the ruins first, and we'll talk about the rest later. After making an agreement with Xian, Goof informed Xian and Kair of the news. Xian's chance? If she gets the chance, Xian will become even stronger. Xian smiled and touched Xian's little head. Yes, I want to become super strong, as strong as Brother Goof. Xian looked at Goof proudly. Why not become stronger than Brother Goof? King Lin suddenly asked. Xian immediately turned around and looked at King Lin and said, Brother Goof is already extremely talented. It's very difficult to surpass him. I'll be very satisfied if I'm as strong as him. Goof looked at Xian's back and knew that she was afraid that he would not take her to find the ruins, so she was deliberately trying to please him. Okay, let's settle the affairs of the snake people and get ready to go. After that, Kair went to explain some things about the tribe. After all, she was the queen of the tribe and couldn't be as free and easy as other people. Not long after, Goof and his group left the monster mountain range, with the Lion King still as their mount. This time when they came back, the Lion King's child had broken through to the 5th level. Before leaving, the Lion King asked it to protect the snake people and take care of each other. Where are we going? Xian asked Goof on the way. Go to your territory, the Beast Domain. The Beast Domain is completely the territory of the monster family. Although there are humans there, in general, those monsters formed by the family still have a strong xenophobia. The living environment of humans there is very difficult, and they walk on the edge of death every day. Chapter 147, The 9 Netherworld Python Clan. King Lin's terrifying talent. The sky was azure and cloudless, and it looked like a huge blue mirror, so clear. Roar! Suddenly, a sound of breaking wind came from the silent sky, and a huge purple figure swept over from the distant sky, bringing a gust of wind, whistling through the sky. This was a huge purple crystal-winged Lion King, and on its spacious back, several figures were sitting cross-legged, and they were Goof and his companions. After 2 months, Goof and his companions hurried and arrived at the edge of the Beast Domain, which was already quite fast. Where's the ruins? After arriving at the Beast Domain, Xian looked at Goof and asked, the Skeleton Mountain Range. Goof remembered that the ancient ruins were in the Skeleton Mountain Range, which was the territory of the 9 Nether Earth Python clan. Although the area of the Beast Domain is not as large as that of Zhangzhou, it should not be underestimated. The overlapping mountains that can't see the end are enough to make people feel the alternative wild atmosphere of this Beast Domain. Perhaps because the Beast Domain is full of jungles and mountains, there are still a lot of blind spots even above the Beast Domain. These blind spots add a lot of mystery to this land. It also makes the smell of danger in the air more intense. Although the Beast Domain is known as 100,000 mountains, this is only a rough number. If you really count, it must be far more than this number. These mountains spread to faraway places beyond human reach. The passage of time has also left countless treasures in these endless mountains, waiting for the destined people to open them. The Skeleton Mountain Range is one of the many peaks, located in the southwest of the Beast Domain. Probably this location. After finding a good direction, Goof and his party stepped into the Beast Domain. Soon, under the leadership of Goof, they came to the Skeleton Mountain Range, which is the territory of the 9 Nether Earth Python. Everyone be careful next time. This is the territory of the 9 Nether Earth Python. There are a lot of them, and they monitor their territory more closely. If they are discovered, it will be troublesome. Goof warned the people behind him, and everyone restrained their fighting spirit after hearing his words. There are 3 powerful races in the Warcraft world. The Taixu ancient dragon clan has always been the strongest among them, and even feeds on the Sky Demon Phoenix. The Sky Demon Phoenix ranks 2nd, and the 9 Nether Earth Python is behind. Compared with the top combat power, The 9 Nether Earth Python cannot be compared with the Taixu Ancient Dragon and the Sky Demon Phoenix, but the 9 Nether Earth Python has a strong reproductive capacity and its race is very large, which has established their position in the Warcraft. As Gu Fei said, the 9 Nether Earth Python monitors its territory very closely. Even though they were very careful, they were discovered when they just entered the 9 Nether Earth Python territory. The news soon reached the ears of the 9 Nether Earth Python's top leaders, and a team of 9 Nether Earth Pythons entered the Skeleton Mountain range to look for their traces. Gu Fei and his team were obviously not lucky. Not long after, they encountered this group of 9 Nether Earth Pythons on a desolate mountain range. "Humans, you are so brave. Don't you know that this is our territory?" There were 3 or 4 7th level and more than a dozen 6th level people in this group of 9 Nether Earth Pythons. No one could pose a threat to Gu Fei and his team. Although Gu Fei restrained his aura, with the presence of the Skyfire Venerable, these 9 Nether Earth Pythons did not dare to attack directly, but they were not afraid. They did not believe that Gu Fei dared to attack here. After all, this was their territory. The beast domain is so big, and you are too arrogant to not let humans in. Facing the scolding of these 9 Nether Earth Pythons, Gu Fei would naturally not swallow his anger. "Humphrey, we monsters are different from you humans. We have strict territorial divisions. This is the territory of our 9 Nether Earth Pythons. If you don't want to die, get out." Gu Fei frowned slightly when he heard this. The attitude of these people made him very unhappy. What the hell are these 9 Nether Earth Pythons? They are just some ugly bugs without legs. Behind Xiao Yan was the first ancient dragon of Warcraft, Taixu, who looked down on the 9 Nether Earth Pythons that won by numbers. However, after saying this, Xiao Yan suddenly felt something was wrong, and quickly looked at Queen Medusa beside her, nervously explaining, "Sister Kair, I'm not talking about you. You are the most beautiful in my heart." Queen Medusa rolled her eyes at Xiao Yan and didn't care too much. Xiao Yan's contemptuous words made the 9 Nether Earth Pythons extremely angry. They gritted their teeth, clenched their fists, and couldn't help wanting to fight. Seeing this, Xiao Yan provoked again. "What? Want to fight? Even if all of you come, you are still not my opponent." Xiao Yan was of course bragging. Although the bloodline of the 9 Nether Earth Python is not as good as that of the Ancient Dragon, it is still a top-level bloodline after all. What's more, they have 3 or 4 7th level ones, and Xiao Yan is only 6th level now. "But what's the use of bragging? I can't beat them all. Don't I have Gu Fei?" Her words also successfully angered the 9 Nether Earth Pythons. "You are looking for death." Seeing the 9 Nether Earth Pythons rushing up together, Gu Fei looked helplessly at Xiao Yan who was provoking trouble. Xiao Yan stuck out her tongue and pushed Gu Fei. "Be quiet in the future." Gu Fei patted Xiao Yan's little head lightly and was ready to attack, but as soon as he moved, King Lin blocked him. "Brother Gu Fei, leave these people to me." King Lin's green eyes flashed, emitting a strange light. "The 3 flower pupil of the green snake-like monsters. Then I'll leave it to you." Gu Fei smiled and took a step back. The 9 Nether Earth Pythons saw that the one who faced the enemy was actually a Huang girl. They felt that Gu Fei and the others looked down on them and were extremely angry. "Let's attack together and kill it directly." 2 7th level 9 Nether Earth Pythons discussed and launched a joint stranglehold on King Lin from the left and right. Facing the attack of 2 Zong level 9 Nether Earth Pythons, King Lin stood still and was not in a hurry. Gu Fei was a little nervous. He didn't know if King Lin's green snake 3 flower pupils could cross levels to deal with 2 7th level monsters. If not, he was ready to rescue King Lin at any time. The 2 7th level monsters attacked, and the wind blew on King Lin's side. Just when the former thought he was sure to win, a faint green light burst out from King Lin's eyes. The green light shone into the eyes of the 7th level 9 Nether Earth Python, and the originally fierce attack was instantly sluggish. The next second, the 2 7th level 9 Nether Earth Pythons actually stopped attacking directly. Just when the other 9 Nether Earth Pythons were still confused, the 2 7th level 9 Nether Earth Pythons had turned around and launched a surprise attack on them. The 9 Nether Earth Pythons were unprepared for the attack of their own people and suffered heavy losses in an instant. At this time, They realized that their people had been controlled by the little girl with green eyes. The 9 Nether Earth Python team was suppressed by King Lin in a short period of time and was about to be annihilated. At this time, an 8th level 9 Nether Earth Python appeared again. The 8th rank 9 Nether Earth Python wanted to sneak attack King Lin and severely injure him in order to save his people, but unfortunately he was discovered and stopped by the Skyfire Venerable. A fierce battle broke out between the two, and in the end, the Skyfire Venerable defeated him. Chapter 148 Ancient Relics. The 3 Elders of Donglong Island. The 8th level magic beast is already quite powerful in the 9 Nether Earth Python clan, and its status in the clan is not too low. The Heavenly Fire Venerable killed it, and it will surely alarm the top leaders of the Nether Earth Python clan soon. Although Goof is not afraid, his goal is the ancient ruins after all, and it is not rational to entangle with the 9 Nether Earth Python here. Let's go quickly. After all, this is the territory of the 9 Nether Earth Python clan. Now Yixian pushed Goof, because Xiao Yan was still sleeping soundly in Yixian's arms. She was worried that more powerful people would appear in the while and threaten Xian's safety. Okay, let's go. Goof and others did not stay for long. The 2 9 Nether Earth Python clan strongmen controlled by King Lin were taken into King Lin's strange space, and then King Lin could absorb their energy. Several people kept shuttling in the deep forest, looking for the location of the Skeleton Mountain Range. There are really many snake-type magic beasts here. Kair herself is a 7-colored swallowing sky python. Not only is she a top bloodline among magic beasts, she is also a peak existence among snake-shaped magic beasts. Even the 9 Nether Earth Pythons from the 3 major families in the Warcraft world cannot compare with it. It's just a pity that the number of 7-colored sky-swallowing pythons is too rare. So far, Goof only knows one 7-colored sky-swallowing python, Kair, a bunch of annoying venomous snakes. Yan was very upset with this race because of the offense of the 9 Nether Earth Python just now. Goof and his group moved forwards for a long time again, and suddenly a dazzling white color appeared in front of them. This white color appeared in this lush green mountain range, which seemed extremely inconsistent. The Skeleton Mountain Range. We are finally here. Seeing this mountain range, Goof showed a relieved smile on his face. He finally found this place successfully. Yan looked at this gloomy place and always felt that it was not very auspicious. She looked at Goof and said, "Brother Goof, this opportunity you are talking about will not be related to those annoying venomous snakes, right?" "This gloomy, it's a bit annoying." King Lin heard this and disagreed with Yan. "I feel very comfortable, my eyes are much brighter here." Kair didn't feel anything strange. The snake tribe here is very similar to the breath of her people. What opportunities will there be here? Now Yixian looked down at the mountain range and hid Xian in her arms, worried that she would be affected by the gloomy environment here. "Don't worry, I'm giving you the greatest opportunity in the world." Goof touched Ziyan's head. "I once got a message that there is an ancient relic here, and this relic is related to your Taixu ancient dragon ancestor." Goof's explanation was quite perfunctory and vague. After all, it was a rumor. He couldn't say that he was time traveler who had read the original book, right? But such a large mountain range, do we have to search bit by bit? Yan was impatient. "What else?" "Cheer up. This is an opportunity that can make you soar to the sky. Let's start looking from here." Under Goof's instigation, Yan finally cheered up a little bit and searched in the Skeleton Mountain Range with Kair, King Lin and others. As the search continued to deepen, they gradually came to the central area. There is a spatial fluctuation there. Yan, with her outstanding spatial talent, was the first to discover a broken spatial seal. The ancient ruins actually exist. Kair had also heard some secrets in the clan, but she didn't expect it to be true. Is the great opportunity here? Yan was extremely excited at the moment, but Goof knew that it was not the time to be happy yet. Although there is a broken spatial seal here, the specific location of the ancient ruins is still unknown. Fortunately, there are some clues. Let's continue to look. Everyone drooped their heads again after hearing this. Isn't it? Yan had no choice but to continue looking for the location of the ancient ruins along the broken seal. They didn't know that a large number of magic beasts had quietly gathered around them at this moment. It seems that this group of foreign humans came here to search for treasures. There is a saying that goes, the mantis stalks the cicada, and the oriole is behind. Wait until they find it, then we will take action. Their large-scale search behavior was too obvious, attracting the attention of many powerful magic beasts. Among them, there were some people from the 9 Nether Earth Python clan. The monster hid and did not alarm Goof, but Goof and others searched for several days in a row, but still had no clues. Even the spatial talent of Xian's Taixu ancient dragon clan was completely clueless. Goof was confused. It seems that I can only ask the elders of the clan for help, Goof was thinking in his heart, but Xian spoke first. Brother Goof, maybe the elders of our clan can find the location of the ancient ruins. Then, she took out a space jade slip. After crushing it, a space crack appeared, and an old man in a white robe appeared here. The aura of this old man was very powerful, and he should have reached the level of advanced semi-saints. The territory of the 9 Nether Earth Python clan? Xian, what happened? The old man frowned and asked Xian. Elder Zhu, it's like this, we are searching for an ancient ruins here, but we can't find the specific location. Come and help. Xian hurriedly explained the situation. Ancient ruins? Zhu agreed and looked at the mountain in front of him. After a moment, the surrounding space continued to tremble, as if resonating with Zhu. Gu felt this strange energy and was shocked by the ability of the Taixu ancient dragon clan. Soon, Zhu looked at an area with a burning gaze and said in a deep voice, there. After Zhu finished speaking, waves of fluctuation suddenly came from the space not far away. The scene in front of him became distorted like a lake, and there was a splashing sound like hitting water. As the vibration continued, the sound became louder and louder. Let's retreat. Goof knew that if the space seal was broken, there would be a huge space storm, so he reminded Xian and others. They followed Goof and retreated quickly, keeping a safe distance. Is it an ancient ruins? As the distorted space in the center of the skeleton ocean appeared, the eyes of the snakeman who secretly followed Goof suddenly shone brightly. Everyone be careful, the seal is about to break. Shhh. The sound of Kongnin's distortion and trembling continued to grow louder, and even Zhu, who had the cultivation level of a semi-saint, had some difficulty standing there. He controlled his fighting spirit to continuously attack the seal, causing the seal to tremble more and more violently. Finally, the distorted space made a crackling sound, and shattered into countless pieces in front of everyone. Like a broken mirror, the ancient ruins are open. The moment the seal burst, the eyes of these snakemen were red, and they rushed towards the center of the sea of bones greedily. The fragments of the space seal that burst open suddenly paused, and a violent space force, like a storm, swept around. Those snakemen who rushed over were swallowed by the storm in almost the blink of an eye. The violent space ripples destroyed those snakemen like cutting wheat. Chapter 149, Dragon Phoenix Origin Fruit. Xian is about to soar into the sky. When they found out that something was wrong, it was too late to retreat. Goof naturally didn't care about the lives of these people. He had already discovered the existence of these monsters, but he just didn't care. When the space storm ended, a huge monster slowly appeared in front of everyone. What appeared in front of everyone was a magnificent palace. The size of the palace made Xian and Kair and others amazed. The new holy city of the snake people was even a little small in front of this palace. Compared with the surrounding mountains, the palace was not much inferior. The only thing that could compare with this palace was the hall of the ancient clan. The whole body of this palace was red. From a distance, it looked like a flame burning on a corpse. The remaining seal ore was lingering around, setting off the majesty of the palace. Is this an ancient relic? Now Xian was shocked. It is worthy of being the palace left by the Cheng. This palace itself is enough to surprise people. Kair couldn't help but sigh, and she had more hope for the Cheng in her heart. Okay, the ancient ruins have been opened, and the real good stuff is inside the palace. Let's go in, Goof said, and made a gesture of invitation to Zhu. Zhu understood and entered the palace first. Zhu is a semi-saint and proficient in the power of space. It is best for him to be the first to enter the palace to explore the danger. The monsters that had been hiding around and coveting the ancient ruins were almost destroyed in the storm. In the short term, There is no need to worry about being taken away by others. Julie was the first to enter the palace. With the reminder of Gu Fei, the time traveler, he did not encounter any danger. The mystery under the fire path did not affect their progress at all. Let's go get the first good thing first. When they came to the bottom of the fire path, Gu Fei walked in front of Julie and shuttled through the ancient ruins. Julie was a little surprised to see this. Seeing Gu Fei like this, it seemed that he had been here before, but he didn't say anything, and quickly followed by Yan, Xun'er and King Lin protected Xiao Yan and Xiao Yan to prevent them from encountering any accidents. Is that a puppet? Soon, everyone came to a big door, and there was a group of silver puppets in front of the door. They are actually Zhong Peak puppets. Are they guarding the door? King Lin couldn't help but sigh. Is this door the real entrance to the ancient ruins? Yan found a clue. These puppets are earth demon puppets. Although they are only Zhong Peak, they can burst out the strength of Zun with the help of special magic rays. Gu Fei had just finished speaking when the surface of the 10 earth demon puppets flashed with silver light. It seemed that they sensed the danger and immediately began to move closer to each other, trying to form a magic array. Break it for me. Gu Fei slapped it directly, and 3 or 4 earth demon puppets were immediately dented and shattered, losing their ability to move. The remaining earth demon puppets were also solved by him in a few moves. The earth demon puppets were all solved, and the confined stone door suddenly made a creaking sound, and then the huge stone door slowly opened, revealing a gap large enough for passage. Keep going. Gu Fei once again took the lead in entering the gap in the door, and there was still a solemn hall inside the gap. But this is not Gu Fei's destination. Gu Fei looked around and rushed out again after confirming the direction. Brother Gu Fei, where are we going? King Lin asked Gu Fei in confusion. Of course, we are going to find treasures. Gu Fei smiled mysteriously and urged everyone to speed up. Soon, they came to a huge stone gate again. However, there was no guard in front of this stone gate. Gu Fei glanced around and pushed the stone gate open. The stone gate was slowly pushed open. To everyone's surprise, there was a huge forest behind the stone gate. I smell a medicinal fragrance. It smells very good. It must be top-notch treasures. Yan suddenly exclaimed. She has a very sensitive sense of smell for treasures. Your nose is quite sensitive. That's our goal. Gu Fei smiled slightly and led everyone to gallop in the forest again. Originally thought that there would be some dangers in the ancient ruins, but following Gu Fei all the way, it was like a smooth road. Soon, a lake appeared in front of everyone. The lake was not large, only about 10 feet wide, and the water was extremely clear, but the ground could not be seen at a glance. There is a floating land in the middle of the lake, like an island in the middle of the lake. On the island, there is a small tree with a strange shape. The whole body of the small tree is silver gray, and the branches are intertwined, like vines, forming a very strange arc. If you look at it from a distance, you will feel that this small tree is very much like a pregnant woman, and the protruding part of the small tree is the belly of a pregnant woman. At this moment, there is a faint golden light flashing in that position. That is our goal, the soul infant fruit. Gu Fei pointed to the place where the golden light flashed. It looks delicious. I'll pick it. Yan was about to take the soul infant fruit after she finished speaking, but just as she rushed to the lake, the calm lake surface suddenly set off a storm. A huge figure splashed out of the water, opened its bloody mouth and bit Yan, evil beast. Julie shouted, and the terrifying aura pressured away. The figure that attacked Yan suddenly trembled, stopped the attack, fell back into the water, and looked at Julie like a child who had made a mistake. The demon beast that suddenly appeared in the lake was Tongxin Jiao. It was powerful because of its ancient dragon bloodline, but in front of the real ancient dragon clan, it could only tremble. HMPH. Yan snorted coldly, walked to the ancient soul infant tree, and took out the soul infant fruit. At this moment, Yan suddenly felt a little dazed. Julie was afraid that Yan was in danger, so he hurried forward. What's wrong, young lady? Julie asked anxiously. I feel something is calling me. After Yan finished speaking, she looked deeper into the ancient forest. That's the great opportunity I want to give you. Get ready to go. Gu Fei stepped forward at this moment. Isn't the soul infant fruit the greatest opportunity? Xun'er was a little shocked. The soul infant fruit was already a legendary thing. What would be the greater opportunity? Now Yixian and King Lin looked at each other and couldn't imagine it either. Seeing that Ziyan was fine, Zhu was no longer worried. Following the induction of Gu Fei and Ziyan, he continued to shuttle in the ancient forest. Everyone came to a plain. The plain looked ordinary, but Ziyan landed on the ground, walked a few steps, and stretched out her hand. A golden light appeared in front of everyone without warning, and then formed a shield. Golden light shield. Ziyan, drop a drop of blood on it. Zhu seemed to have thought of something, and the expression on his old face unconsciously became shocked. Ziyan heard it, bit her finger, and a drop of golden blood dripped on the golden light shield. A crack appeared on the golden light shield, and the crack slowly opened. Let's go in. Ziyan was the first to enter the golden light shield, followed by Gu Fei and others. Inside the golden light shield was a desolate plain. On this plain, there was an extremely large stone altar. The terrifying pressure from the altar made the weaker ones such as Yixian feel that their fighting spirit was stagnant. Chapter 150. Rabbits are so cute. How can you eat them? This kind of aura. After arriving here, Zhu, the third elder of Donglong Island, seemed more excited than before. He sensed a blood-related aura. Ziyan exhaled lightly, and her little face became unusually solemn. Then, she stomped her foot on the ground, and turned into a light and shadow, flashing across the stone steps like lightning. In a few flashes, she appeared at the end of the altar. Gu Fei and his group followed closely behind, and when they reached the top of the altar, they saw Ziyan's extremely shocked face. Everyone looked in the direction, and saw that in the center of the altar, there was a golden and purple stone platform, and on the stone platform, there was a half-foot-sized groove. At this time, in the groove, a small sapling grew out of the stone platform. The sapling was only the thickness of a thumb, but it was winding like a giant dragon. On the top of this small sapling, a fruit was hanging. This fruit is about the size of a palm, and is golden and purple. If you look closely, you will find that the purple half, twisting and turning, is actually a shrunk-down ancient virtual dragon. The other golden half is an ancient sky phoenix with wings spread and dancing. A fruit in the shape of an ancient virtual dragon and a sky demon phoenix. Is this the great opportunity that Gu Fei, husband, promised to give Ziyan? Looking at this extremely strange fruit, Xun'er, Dao Yixian, King Lin and others looked at each other in confusion. It seems that the pressure is coming from the fruit, the Sky Fire Venerable whispered, with a hint of disbelief in his voice. This is the dragon phoenix origin fruit. It only exists in the ancient books of my ancient dragon clan. Zhu explained with a face full of surprise, that phoenix is the ancestor of the sky demon phoenix, the ancient sky phoenix. This kind of fruit needs to absorb the life force of the ancient virtual dragon and the sky phoenix before it has a probability of no more than 10% to be born. Even in the records of the ancient dragon clan, it has only appeared 5 times. This is the 6th time. It has only appeared 6 times since ancient times. It is such a precious treasure. Listening to Zhu's explanation, Dao Yixian, Kair, and Tan Haozun were even more shocked. Ziyan stared at the real dragon phoenix origin fruit that only existed in the legend. After a moment, he turned his head suddenly. Standing on the top of the altar, looking down at this vast plain from the high place, only then did he realize that the pale color in the red soil faintly outlined the skeleton of an extremely large ancient Taixu dragon and an ancient sky phoenix. Here, a Taixu ancient dragon and an ancient sky phoenix actually fell at the same time. The huge skeletons were connected end to end, forming a circular loop that encircled the plain, and the giant stone altar was right in the center of the circle. Brother Gu Fei, you are so kind. The next moment, Ziyan looked at Gu Fei again. She knew that Gu Fei must have known that there was a dragon and phoenix origin fruit here. Such a precious thing. Even Ziyan, who was always laughing and joking, became very serious at this moment, and was also very moved. Little friend Gu Fei, thank you very much this time. If Ziyan can refine this thing, it will be possible to evolve a true supreme beast with dragon and phoenix blood. Zhu was also very excited, with tears flashing in his old eyes, as if he saw the rise of the Taixu ancient dragon clan again. Don't be so polite, this is what I promised Ziyan, and besides, She also helped me obtain the treasure of the Earth's soul. Looking at Xian and Julie, who thanked him solemnly, Gu Fei waved his hand casually. However, if this thing is to be absorbed by Xian, careful arrangements must be made. After all, this girl is too weak now, and she can't digest the power of the dragon phoenix origin fruit by herself. Then, Gu Fei reminded, moreover, I heard Xian say that your Taixu ancient dragon clan is not a monolithic entity now. If the other 3 dragon kings find out, they will probably come to snatch it. Young friend Gu Fei is right. Elder Zilai nodded very solemnly, his face full of sorrow. Although Xian is of royal blood, the 3 dragon kings are ambitious. If Xian has the strength to threaten them, they might go crazy and want to destroy the royal bloodline. Then what should we do? There seems to be spies planted by the other 3 islands on Donglong Island. Otherwise, why did the people from the other 3 dragon islands know so quickly when I returned to the clan last time? Xian was also full of worries. How about, Xian, you go to the ancient world with friend Gu Fei again, and refine the dragon phoenix origin fruit there. Even if the 3 dragon kings sense it, they won't dare to go to the ancient world to commit crimes. Julie thought about it and said a method. Now he trusts Gu Fei very much. After all, it was Gu Fei who took the initiative to bring him and Xian here to find a treasure like the dragon phoenix origin fruit. If the other party really has any bad intentions, why bother with it? Okay, this method is good. Xian was reluctant to separate from Gu Fei, Dao Yixian, and Xun'er, so she nodded and agreed almost without hesitation at this moment. Friend Gu Fei, I'm sorry to trouble you. Julie looked at Gu Fei and said ashamedly, you're too polite. Gu Fei smiled, and then said, since the dragon phoenix origin fruit has been found, let's go to other places in the palace to have a look. Next, Julie put away the dragon phoenix origin fruit, and Xian casually drew a crack on the edge of the beast spirit cover, and everyone's figures flashed out along this crack. In the forest, golden light flashed, and several figures emerged out of thin air. It seems that other treasure hunters have come in. Gu Fei's soul power spread, sensing the breath of other people and monsters in the distance. Due to time constraints, not many people knew about the opening of the ancient ruins, so the monsters that came were not strong. After a while, Gu Fei and his party came to the palace before. After searching for a while, a palace full of ancient atmosphere stood up. On the ancient palace, there were 2 large characters written in a flamboyant style. Dan Palace. Wait here. Because the Dan Palace was full of toxins, Gu Fei did not let others go with him this time. He entered the palace alone. When he came out, Gu Fei held a snow-white furry little rabbit in his hand. Wow, what a cute little rabbit. Looking at what Gu Fei brought out, Dao Yixian and the other girls came over. This is not an ordinary rabbit, but a Dan beast. Its level should be a pill that has been baptized by the 9-colored Dan Thunder. Gu Fei explained with a smile. This is the 9-colored pill, Thunder Pill. It must be delicious. Xian's eyes lit up when she heard Gu Fei's words. Rabbit, so cute, don't eat it. At this moment, a childish voice came from the arms of the little Dr. Fairy. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.